And we're live! It's the Fortnight 5.
Fortnight!
Coming at you. Need to be edited. Fortnite. It's been a fortnight.
Let's introduce ourselves.
It's been a fortnight. Shut up, bro.
Like always. Okay, well, I'm Charles. I just got told to shut up.
It's Charles who just needs people to know who we are.
Well, no shit. So, maybe one day we'll have a viewer.
All right.
It is high on the request list that we
Start
introduce
out so
ourselves. So I'm Napoleon. I'm talking. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sam.
Sarah, Sam, I'm Tom. Sam, you know me. Sarah, I don't know. Do you know me? Do we meet?
No.
No. Continue. Is that mine?
Oh. Beep, bop, boop. I'm Rob.
Rob the robot.
I'm Rossi. I am not here for Sam or Sarah. I'm only here for Diego. Diggs? I feel like he's not listening.
Right in the comments if you're listening.
He's out.
He's been out.
I've noticed it went from 3 views to 2.
It's dropping in views.
Dropping of views. Okay, so
It's on today's agenda.
it's on today's agenda. I got a list here.
Professional. We got agendas.
What just happened recently?
I'm going to start this out a little differently.
Okay.
Right? Because we always start out with like a movie review or something. We're still starting out with a movie review. But last fortnight we talked about we were going to watch Prometheus, but we ended up watching Predators.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we review our Predator watch? For one, I just want to get this out there real quick. AMC Whitlock is fucking fantastic.
It is.
We all need an AMC one.
Like, I don't ever want to watch a movie anywhere else.
I don't either.
That's why I brought that.
Yeah.
Well, and especially because you needed it.
Yeah, my hard drive actually says my fucking name on it. But,
I wasn't going to bring it, but I kind of wanted to watch it in AMC.
but fuck it. What was everybody's experience with Predators? I'm going to start with Rob. Sorry. For some reason,
I don't care. I don't know why you're making eye
For
contact.
some reason, I feel like
I have no problem with
you were
that.
going to talk there. Start with Rob, since Rob for sure hasn't seen it.
Okay. This may have been my favorite movie in like years.
Wow. Nice.
I really liked it. I miss that old, the team is getting hunted by the Predator. Like, I feel like they don't do that anymore. And I was all in. It was on another planet. Adrian Brody killed it as the lead.
Who knew?
It was great.
You know?
I knew.
I mean, it was I just missed that, and I missed we haven't had a good sci-fi, besides Star Wars, we haven't had a good, sci-fi movie.
And that was in 2010, too.
And Guardians. Guardians, I'll give Guardians.
Again, we're talking about the 2010 Predators
and that was 2010.
movie. So.
And obviously it wasn't Prometheus.
Well, probably the bummer was it just kind of came and went. Like, I remember kind of hearing, oh, Predators, and then it just was gone. And then,
It was really good as for a sci-fi movie, and I remember it did a great job of feeling like the first one, but then also being its own movie. It felt like a sequel, but it wasn't like one of those sequels.
It felt in the same universe.
Felt like in the same universe, but you didn't need the same characters. It was just
Yeah.
they did a really good job of that, and it didn't do the thing where it tried to be too big too. It just was its own little kind of sandbox movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was great about it.
The big problem for me not even seeing it, I think a lot of people not seeing it. Okay. Apparently, is that they had all those Alien versus Predator movies, and Predator's getting a bad name. That's why I skipped it, because I'm just another Predator movie. We know they've gotten bad over the years, and then this was actually holy shit, it was good.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people had that. That's why they didn't see it.
It sucks when that happens, when there's a good movie in the beginning and then they do these crap ones, and if they do make another good one, people don't make it to the movies to see it sometimes.
It's just oversaturated with it sucks.
I've never actually even seen the Alien vs. Predator movies in full. I did try watching AVP 1. I made it about 26 minutes in, and I was like, this is so stupid.
What made you out on AVP 1?
The movie.
You always say the movie, but was there a particular thing? Was it the character? Was it the premise?
It was more
of
one of those things where I was taking the time to watch it, and it just was I was like, this is really not very good. So I left, and I was like, I'm not going back to it.
It moves really slow in the beginning.
That type of thing.
But I enjoyed
I did pick
AVP
it up in the beginning.
1, AVP 2, I don't enjoy it as much.
I thought I liked the concept.
As much. So there is enjoyment for AVP 2.
I like that I got more of the universe, and me, I always like just more. If they can start doing just kid drawings of Predator movies, I'd watch them and get some small enjoyment out of it. I'm easy pleasy.
So what about the second one though? Because you said
squeezy.
the second one was what kind of turned you off.
The second one is super cheesy.
So it was the cheese.
It's super cheesy. It's not. It doesn't give you any original story. It's just run from the aliens, get killed by the aliens. A predator shows up. Predator gets killed by alien.
I did see that.
Alien shows up, gets killed by predator.
I saw some of that one though. Isn't it like there's a predator that's like an alien predator?
There's a hybrid that's killing everything.
And then they send a predator to kill the hybrid predator.
Like during all the fighting.
What happened in AVP 1 ends with the hybrid creation.
Okay.
And AV2 begins with the ship that was leaving crashing because the hybrid wrecked the ship, and one of the big ones gets out, and its job is to fucking save humanity because they still need Earth for their training.
Is there a human agenda in it that we care about?
There's a human agenda, but not
survival.
But is there like a main character?
Yeah.
You seen it?
I saw it.
Caught those ones.
Well, those ones would make you out on Predators. I was out on Predators. He actually, I think it's the first movie we saw together, and he actually dragged me to it because I was out. And I was out on Adrian Brody. I was like, this is bullshit. How are they going to get the fucking pianist to fucking fight a predator? And at the end, I was dick hard, yes. Adrian Brody needs to be in 3 more Predators.
That's when you realize, I think that was like a big experience for you, because that's when you realize, like, oh, so if you get an actors to play a main character, they turn out good. Interesting. Yeah, it's like, you don't just need to throw a guy in there that looks the part. Like,
throw the rock in
like
everything.
Jason Statham doesn't need to be in everything. Because we know who you would have cast, Baby Hemsworth.
Not at the time.
If you want, I'm gonna spoil the ending of AVP.
Spoil it.
Spoiler D.
Spoiler D. All right, I'm just.
Nobody's on the cusp of their seat, by the way. Like, no, not AVP 2.
So,
maybe AVP 1.
I'm a big ending guy. Like, if the ending sucks for me, like the whole journey was pointless. Sunshine, yeah. AVP 1 had a really stupid ending. It was like the final survivor.
Wouldn't have guessed it.
The final survivor was some girl, I forget her name, and she was like the predator, like honored, like she was like an honorary predator, or they it earned her the predator's respect.
Didn't they do that in the first one too?
Did they? I thought.
Didn't the girl like kind of like?
He's talking about AVP 1, aren't you?
Yes.
I
thought you were talking about.
I thought you were talking about AVP 2. That's the part I was kind of remembering. Like,
no. I thought.
But they kind of
like
do
they
that
like
in Predators too,
sort of.
So.
Yeah, but they teamed up. It was weird. Like, I don't know.
No, sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
That was just for me what turned me off of AVP 1, because up till then it was just kind of a mediocre, cheesy like what Predators is. Like, Predators did it right, AVP did it wrong. Was just, you don't care about the characters. It's all cheese and.
That's more what I was saying though when I was saying like I kind of got out of it, because I was just watching going like, yeah, this doesn't really feel like I'm watching the Predators that much right now, where like I just didn't care. Like right in the beginning of Predators, you're like, oh shit, this feels like a Predators. Even the music was like a Predators.
Job of fucking getting you with the music, getting you in with the characters. The characters' like feelings are not feelings; their motivations are like right there, real quick. And so that is really cool about Predators. And then in AVP, what kept me going was
please let's get back to
it. Well, what kept me going was like they had like the Bishop throwback.
Okay.
From Aliens.
Cool.
I'm kind of like, oh, okay.
Kind of cool.
Man, we've got connection here. I think Sanaa Lathan is hot, so that kind of helps. That's the chick who ends up being an honorary predator.
I just thought the
and in Predators 2, they give Danny Glover Wyatt Earp's gun when he beats the predator. They're like, hey, you can beat one of us, and you can be one of us, or like.
Oh, they do that?
They do that in Predator 2.
Oh. Okay.
So when she saves the other predator, almost when she's the one that kills the alien to win the thing, and the other predators show up, it's kind of like, all right, you are a predator.
In
here
Predator
on this
2, it makes enough sense. Like, you're kind of fine with it, because like the idea, because the predators are not there to take over Earth. They're always there because it's almost like practice. They're trying to figure out like better ways of fighting. He bests one, they're leaving anyways, so it's kind of like, oh, you bested us type of thing.
Okay.
I don't know about AVP 1, but Now, I'm going to say this, because you're older, you saw Predator 2 and probably saw the alien skull. And you were probably, for years, you were probably sitting there, I can't wait for AVP.
No, totally.
Like, I was like, I was like, oh, they're like, that's like a thing?
That was a tease that took
So
20
for you,
years to make. Yeah, totally.
That's like the perfect, like, 90s kid. Like, what if they're going to do it? Huh?
They're gonna finally do that.
The MCU first.
Yeah.
I didn't see Predator 2 because by that time
He's letting me go with it.
I didn't see Predator 2 because at the time we were all young and we all saw it later in life, I'm assuming. So
I never saw it.
Predator 2 was always like,
It's all right.
it had the reputation of like that movie that just went, it's like, hey, Predator, and then the straight to DVD Predator. Like that's like the kind of reputation it had, so I never watched it. It just, Predator kind of seemed like it was on a downward spiral. Like you had the original, which was a classic, and then it was kind of like, okay.
Predator 2 is weird because the first half is stupid and very, like, exactly what you said. It's just like home, like straight to DVD or straight to VHS.
Like it doesn't feel canon.
But then for some reason at the end, when it becomes Danny Glover just versus the Predator, it feels like you're watching a Predator movie. Actually, it's like it ends up being like their final, like, which is like the last half of the movie when it's like they're kind of hunting each other.
Right.
It actually gets pretty good. And by the end, I remember every time I watch them, I was like, I find myself actually satisfied. Every time I'm watching the beginning, I'm like, oh my god.
Because in the beginning, it's a sci-fi mystery, and it's not good because Danny Glover is navigating future LA, which is horrible, and you're like, why are you even being this good of a cop when it's clear that LA has gone to shit?
I mean, the
and
worst.
You're just setting yourself up for being killed.
It's almost real
fire. And so it's really horrible. And then so you're like, fuck if the Predator's killing drug dealers. That's great. It's like you should almost be giving him a badge and just letting him go.
Well, it's like a really shitty 90s future where it's like
it's
kind of cheesy.
LA 1999 and the fucking gangs have fucking cannons launching out of the windows.
And there's like the real themed gangs where it's like a Rasta gang.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay.
Wasn't the idea like the concrete jungle?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there was a book. Yeah. Somebody wrote a book or a comic called The Concrete Jungle. And I actually read it, and it was pretty good. It wasn't like as dumb as the movie for some reason. And actually, in the comic, it's Dutch's brother is a cop in Los Angeles. It was kind of cool. So it's like Arnold's like, and it's like a twin.
There's a like connection.
There's a connection to it.
It makes sense that the guy's top.
It has sound. You need a better player.
It's not gonna put a heavy LC.
Okay. I don't know. We'll try it.
We'll give it a shot.
We'll try it. Charles, what do you think about Predators for the second time?
Yeah, well, I was all in to watch it. I was like, I haven't seen this movie before. It starts like 5 minutes into it, and I was like, I've seen this before. I think I actually saw it in theaters, believe it or not. But I liked it. I liked it the first time.
Like midnight showing.
It's awesome.
Fucking Predators.
And he doesn't remember seeing it.
Bought the tickets months in advance.
He has Sinopolis for it.
Sinopolis opening night.
He is the Predator.
But yeah, I really liked it. I mean, it was fucking great. I love that kind of space aspect to it. Like, they finally get out of the forest, and it's like, you see the fucking planets in the sky. You're like,
so cool.
This ain't Earth. And like the opening scene, they're like falling. You're just like, what's going on? I thought that was fucking cool.
I was all in at the planet.
Yeah.
That's all you need to
you would
do.
be
All
on
like
planets.
we could go outside, and if there was like Jupiter in the sky, I'm like, Earth is cool. I love Earth.
Yeah.
Like that's how like into that.
I
You
mean,
want to get Rob going, you show some planets. One that looks like Jupiter.
Jupiter does it.
I'm always a sucker for Saturn for some reason.
I just like
Saturn's good.
there was something about the characters that just kind of was like interesting. Like it was weird because you had forced me to see it because I'm usually against seeing movies that you want me to see.
Yep.
And I really liked it the first time, but I didn't remember as much. So we were watching it this time, and I had to leave early. I was kind of like staying later than I should have
Because you were actually enjoying it?
I was really into it. I didn't want to leave because I was actually really into it. I was like, I want to see at least one kill.
Yeah.
And I don't think I got to see a kill. Maybe I did. Maybe I saw
You saw Trejo.
Yeah, but so I ended up trying to watch it again later, but with no sound. And I saw the the like convict guy just get fucking like spinal like Mortal Kombat.
Oh god, that was awesome. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. And
I'm glad they chose him to be that guy that got ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those movies that's just like, it's like shot well too.
Yep.
Like it doesn't look.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks
Like-
good. Yeah, there's like the special effects are good. They're not like they didn't. They used a lot of real effects
A lot of
too, which is always
practical
helpful.
You know what? It's coming back to me now. When I actually went to go see it, I remember you and I talking about it, and that you like that finger pointing.
I
didn't
like
you?
that finger pointing.
You're looking at it like you're gonna chop it off.
I want to.
But he's just like, when we saw it the first time, I remember this crayon conversation.
No, I remember you saying that in this movie they're not gonna use CGI like for the predators. They're gonna actually use like masks.
Yeah.
And it looks more realistic. Because at the time, like, everything was fucking CGI. They would not get off of CGI's dick. And then
Yeah.
for this movie, they did, and it was fucking...
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
They
Great.
go to another planet and they got predators
Right.
for this movie. They're actually vegetarians. They're nice guys.
Yeah.
So
Do you
so
think
it
it's
works
like
out.
our trained eye now at this point because we see so much CGI that like when we see
Bad CGI. We
no,
know
but
it.
not even just that when we see something that's in a suit or something, even though it's like we feel like that looks more real because we know it's not CGI.
Yeah, totally.
Is it like is that because like,
Uh,
because I know it's not CGI and I can tell it's not CGI. It's like that looks more real to me because I feel like I could touch that.
I just
Right.
think they're better at costume design now than they were in the past.
I think so,
it
too.
looks-
Do you think the old Predator? I mean, they look pretty much the same.
Well, yeah.
The old Predator looked good though. I always
I
thought the
thought
old
it
Predator.
looked
looked
But
good.
something like that looks good and looks fine.
Right.
Like there could be other movies that the costume design
Yeah.
is just.
I mean, I'm not talking about the Voyage of Sinbad or something back in the day. I mean, I'm talking about that
But
suit.
even when I was young, like CGI, like you could always just tell, and it just always bugs.
Well, young
You try to
stuff,
look past
yeah.
it. Well, I remember when I watched the old Spider-Man movies, and he would like be fighting Green Goblin. It would just kind of be like you could just tell he's like kind of too zippy and zappy. Or even when he was like the first time he's checking his powers and bounding from like buildings to buildings, he like jumps up and there's like a scene where it's like his face goes up to the camera. And it's like totally a fucking digital him. He's like, ah!
The worst is a digital person in a regular movie.
Yeah.
And they show like
They're getting better
somebody
at it,
jump down
though.
as a digital person. I'm like, what the fuck? That's still not you.
Well, they're getting better.
Well,
Like
I think I think it depends on the person making the movie because that young Robert Downey Jr. that was fucking freaky.
Yeah, but that's also him playing the
Yeah.
part. That's different. That's him wearing he's having a like a green screen mask
Yeah,
on
he's-
his face. So it's like
Still
it's
his
sort of
face.
still him.
Right,
'Cause
because
the
like
same
when
thing
you
they-
see Golem in the Lord of the Rings, he doesn't look like he could ever touch that Golem. At least to me.
No. I would disagree.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like I want to touch
But
that
they,
goal.
but they,
Great point.
but that is
But
a
they're
real
s-
person
But
playing.
they're
it.
to make it
sculpting it
go
on
where
like
you
his
touch
same
it.
face. I think maybe sort of.
What about Vision? Vision looked like you could touch that Vision.
Oh, I want
Same.
to.
that vision looked good.
I want to touch that
And
vision.
Same
when they
thing.
showed the special,
The Viz.
when they showed like the behind the scenes, that dude's wearing fucking pajamas and dots everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his face, for the most part, is like actual like makeup.
Still think they made a Vision. He's fucking out there working. Burger King.
I mean, I remember Burger King. Back in the day when I first saw Transformers 1, I remember thinking the CGI was really good. And then I watched it later on. I was like, not that great.
I'm sure Transformers 1 is probably.
I remember watching it, going like, I think they made Transformers.
Yeah.
I think they're out there. And then maybe now you're like, oh, I think I can see the CGI more. But I remember when I first saw it, I was like, that's a Transformer. Like, I just saw a car and he turned into a fucking robot. Like, where are they? I should be able to see them. I live pretty close to Los Angeles. They got to be stored somewhere around here. Like, where's Optimus Prime at?
Any Camaro you see, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, Bubble.
Hey, Bubble. Yeah. Maybe it was by the third one, like the CGI.
I
got
really
cheaper.
liked that movie when it first came out. It's crazy how
I did
shitty
too.
the others came.
Really? Yeah. I've only seen the second one. I think I may have saw part of the third. I was
Oh, the
just
third is
over it.
trash.
Yeah.
Second
I don't
one's
even think I
trash.
finished it.
I could get through the second one.
Really?
The third one, I couldn't even get through. I was like, this is a fucking turd.
Which one's the one that? Oh, what's her face? Megan Fox is like not in.
Third.
The third. Okay.
Turds.
That
of
one
it.
I don't think I finished that one.
Turds of it.
Yeah. What was the fourth? Was the fourth with
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg? Okay.
The weird thing is,
I'm strangely excited for 5. Not in theaters. Not in theaters. But I really want to see the story.
well, did you watch 4?
Yeah, I did.
4 got trashed in reviews.
Yeah.
Trashed in reviews. I watched it. I was like, this is not that bad. Like it was like I liked it probably.
It's the genesis of the Transformer.
It was kind of it was like okay. I'm not gonna say
I don't know. Was it
that it was a fucking. I'm not gonna say it was like a good movie, but like, I mean, after the first one, I liked it the best.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a Transformer movie. I don't know who went in there thinking it was gonna be fucking.
I don't know who went in there.
Great.
I think it was on Netflix.
But when that thing comes on cable,
I'm not fucking.
I like watching I wish the Transformers went straight to cable. I'd watch them all. I'd watch up to 10 of those things.
If they did more of that, I bet you more people would watch these movies sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it though. I mean, Transformers 4 still made fucking like $200 million or something.
Yeah. Well, it's good international. Like that's where it makes its money.
Good.
It's like those channels like HBO where it plays like, oh, Transformers, and then 2 hours later, oh, Transformers. You know?
Yeah.
It's like the same movie, like repeated.
Well, I get-
I watched both those showings.
The way they can get what? The way they get me is if they do like not HBO doesn't do this, but like TNT will do, where they play the first one, the second one, the third one. I end up winding myself watching the third one because I kind of just need to continue.
The worst part about that though is like that's like an all-day event with their commercials. I know. I'll be like, I'll like be like making lunch, and then by the end of the movie, I'm like at dinner, like I'm still watching this movie.
Well, it's great for a holiday for me. Like when I'm out at like the aunt's house or something, it's like throw on TNT. Let's watch
God,
all the Transformers.
if I have to go to something I don't want to be at and they have a TV and it's on, it's like yes.
It's
And that's when I enjoy movies like Transformers because I don't care.
And
It's like who cares if it's bad?
Yeah.
It's better than watching like like some shitty love story movie or something like.
It's like entertaining. Like it kind of keeps you entertained.
Like, cause like
It is.
they play.
There's something to talk about because you can talk through those movies.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt.
Because
You can come back to it and it's like still entertaining, you
It's
know.
still a flipping robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Just flip in one section, you have a conversation.
the
come
worst
back,
is if I didn't get there first and like Kelly was the one who had the remote and it's like not that into you movie is on. I'm like I don't want to watch this again because I have watched it.
Not that into you. 10 things.
10 Things I Hate About You.
P.S. I love you.
Anything with
Love Actually.
Yeah.
oh gosh,
See, none of those.
she loves Love Actually. No, it's anything with what's her name, Kate Hudson. Any movie with Kate Hudson, for some reason. No, it's just always on. They're always she's out, but her movies are like,
Movies suck.
oh my
I mean, they
god,
don't suck, but they're not what I want to watch.
I don't know.
A lot of McConaughey.
enjoy her. That's one of those things you can turn your brain off and watch, like those kind of movies.
I don't.
Like we were like at your house, and like she had like Bride Wars on or some shit. And like I was kind of like,
That's
I was
funny.
like, oh, Bride Wars.
The problem is those movies
Kind
can sort of suck you in, though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, though. Like, what I'm saying is if she gets it first, I end up watching that and getting sort of sucked in.
Yeah, but they're entertaining enough to turn your brain.
Ah, but it's like I don't want to.
They're all just the same movie.
It's the same
though.
movie.
It's the same movie repeated.
Kate Hudson plays the same character.
That's just like every like romantic movie.
Yeah, I'm very into watching the same thing over. That's like my thing.
That's true.
But
That's true.
speaking of Michael Bay, I heard TMNT 2.
Oh god.
I heard it was like worse than the first
Yes.
one.
Really?
Really?
I
The story was worse.
really, I read a review that it was better.
Oh, I heard it was worse.
I just heard a lot of bitching about it, but
Why are
I'm
people
fine.
bitching about
I
it?
still want to see it Tuesday. I'm going.
Who bitches about that movie though? Like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
I thought Bebop and Rocksteady were gonna be cooler. Did you? Well, you're a fucking idiot. Bebop and Rocksteady.
I heard it was
Bebop.
it was like an animated. It was a cartoon episode, just live action.
And somebody should like that.
Which I'm fine with. That's
Yeah, that's fine.
what I'm going for.
Yeah, if
and
I was-
I already know that these turtles aren't the turtles from the first movie. You know,
was-
the original movie that we saw.
if I was 6, I'd be
it's
into
more
it.
of a cartoon, and that's fine. It's a turtle episode I like.
Yeah.
That's what was weird about that animated one. It was supposed to be the same ones from the live action. The TMNT.
Yeah,
It was supposed to be the same character. I was like, what?
I get that. That's what.
Oh, like the animated movie they made a couple years ago?
Yeah, where they fought like the guy who's been like alive for like centuries or something.
I just think the turtles were a product of their time, and I think their time is.
I don't know. I don't know if that's
Kids
true.
are still loving it.
No, I mean I'm saying for like adults. I mean kids are gonna like it.
Well, that's what I was bringing up earlier when I said I found that Wikipedia page that I saw a review of the original 1999 movie one, and it got bad reviews, like 40% on Rotten Tomato, which is these new ones are at 36, 32. So it wasn't that well reviewed then. So like I don't know if it was like the Robin Rossi if we were this age then, maybe we would watch him like, what the fuck was that piece of shit? Like, you know, like...
It's slices. It's slices. That's stupid.
Yeah. Splinter looked like a fuckhead. You know?
Truth be told, like nostalgia for me is a big part of why I even like the Turtles, and
Yeah.
I can't remember a single line of the TV show except for like Cowabunga, and like all I remember is just the toys were cool.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Well, but I do know this. I can watch the old movie and enjoy it. If I try watching the old cartoon, I'm like, it's like too wacky.
Right, it's like wacky.
But if you watch the movie, I get through it.
Yeah, the first
the
movie
first one
is actually a really good movie. The second one I still like. It's a little campier.
But that one deserves the
dog
battle.
shit.
The second one was really campy. I went back and tried to watch the opening fight scene, and it's like way cheesier.
But when I was a kid, I loved.
Right.
I remember 2 being so cool when
It was. I loved the.
It's the worst one's always the best one when you're a kid. It's weird.
Well, because it had all the stuff that you would like as a kid. Like when they first like showed up and like jumped up and the music was like da 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 or whatever. I was like, fucking. I don't
That's
know
the thing I have to try
I jerked
to.
off back then, but
I have to try to take myself out of it sometimes. I'm like, it's not.
happening.
Not every movie is made for like who I am today. Like exactly what you said. Like that is what I wanted.
Yeah. Well, he's like got the kebabs
And like Donatello, like he acts like that thing that moves.
Oh,
like,
that's my favorite part where he like goes and he's like, yeah, and grabs the foam thing. And it's
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
now I'd be like, yeah, use your stick. Donatello should use his bow staff. But like back then, I was all for the. Yeah. Back then, I loved that part.
Yeah, it's true.
And I loved all the. I still like that movie though. It's campy, but like. It's too quiet or something like that.
A little too rap.
Yeah, it's like there's rap, like a little too rap. It's stupid. I like it.
It is. It's funny. I mean, it's funny for what it is. It's just
Well, that's nostalgia.
when you hold. Yeah, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
When you hold it to like a pet on a pedestal, and it's like. I mean, I don't like the look of these new Turtles. I think they look.
Honestly, if they looked like a lot better, I think I would enjoy these movies a
They're
lot.
like-
Part of it is the CGI. It's just like it's so CGI that I can't get into it. Like somehow, if it was the guy in the suits, I think I would have been a little bit more into it.
It's just they remind, like especially Michelangelo. It really does remind me of Transformers 2, like those two like twin robots.
Yeah.
Like with like the gold tooth, like that's totally. It reminds me of that.
You're right. Yeah.
I've made that acceptance though that's teenagers. Anytime I walk down the street, I see a teenager in a store, I want to trip them. I just fucking hate the way they talk nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing for me too, of why a lot of times I don't like CGI. All CGI characters too, is when it's a guy in the suits, they have to like do those stunts, so the fight scenes are like have to be a little bit more grounded because it's guys actually kind of doing choreographed fighting. When it's a CGI, it's the crazy ass. It's the craziest shit though, like where you're parachuting out of a fucking plane and you run into the plane. It's like that doesn't do anything for me.
No, I agree.
In my brain, so it's like
I agree with that 100%.
because it's so unbelievable. Like yeah, the turtles like they're doing all this stupid stuff like when they're blasting out of the water and the CGI turtles flip. And it's like what? But when it's the suit, like it's the fighting is more like it's closer to being real.
What's funny to me is how. Like the cynical, like because I'm the same way. How the cynical mind works because here we're like getting pissed that the turtle's flipping in the air, but it's like it's a fucking walking, breathing turtle. Like where do we draw the line for realism? It's like it's not as real as a real.
But I guess
guy.
it's not
It's not a real 6'7" turtle.
But I'm the same way. Like I'm so cynical. But I'm like, it shouldn't be flipping or running through the plane. But I'm accepting that it's a walking turtle.
I think he should be. I'm
You
fine
can't
with him
accept
flipping.
it. You can't accept so much though.
No, I'm
Right,
fine
I
with a
agree,
turtle
but-
flipping and shit through a plane, but the way the CGI, makes it looks too fantastical to know what the fuck's going on. Where it's like a turtle's just like roaming around, but if it like looked like actually like
Going too fast.
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna say, is it going too fast?
Yeah, no, but Michael Bay. Is,
What? I mean, what?
Well,
Oh, we're starting.
no, but like it's completely different when it's CGI than like the actors on wires and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No, it is. I'm just saying. It's just funny how it works. 'Cause
It is
like,
funny how it
works.
There's a certain amount of bullshit like we'll accept,
But what I'm saying only eat so much shit before
what I'm
we
saying
take
is it's not about like realism and accepting it. I'm just like, wow, that just looks stupid.
You're right. It does look really stupid.
Like it's if it looked cooler the way the flip went, or if it was in slow motion, I'd kind of be like, all right, cool.
It was in slow motion.
It's too fast.
More like when they're standing in
with
the
that, but I don't
elevator
think that's-
and they just start beatboxing, right? Like that's just horrible.
Oh,
even though they're standing still, it is just garbage. Man, let's get off that speed thing.
I know they're mutant. I know they're mutants, but they're too mutant in like the new ones. They're just too like
they're fucking
they look
freaks.
stupid.
they're freaks. Like I almost said like Psylocke. I don't know why, but like Michelangelo's eyes like over here. Like he's like a Picasso painting.
And he's a midget compared to the other ones.
Right.
Well, I remember Raph was like huge.
Raph is a freak.
They don't even look like turtles.
Right. There's like brr, and on it it's like
They look like fucking more of those like golem trolls from the fucking.
yeah.
Right, especially Raph, dude.
right.
Why?
Yeah,
He's
it's-
like 8 feet
You're
tall.
my brother. What are you?
It's
Right, so I mean, this Predators, right?
Yeah.
well, what I will say about Predators, the one negative.
Joking.
I wanted to bring it back around, but I thought the ship had sailed, but you brought it back into the port.
Yeah, well, that,
Shit, it's like a Lost Island.
The only problem with Predators before people are like, what the fuck, Predators? Is that the Topher Grace ending, like, where he was just so stupidly evil. Like,
I agree.
Where he has, like, now I'm going to cut you, and I'm going to, oh, good, thank God you're back. I belong on this planet. Like,
but didn't it make him?
I liked it because it made the whole time I was questioning, like, why is he there? He's not a killer. He's nothing.
I mean, I'd be fine with him being a
Cosmo
killer.
would nap,
He was just too.
All of a sudden, he's super evil.
Yeah, like too stupid.
Now the part I will agree with you is like he's kind of like it discredits parts where like when he's scared by himself.
Yeah.
And then where he's like, oh, I want to be here with you. I like it here. It's like you were showing real fear when you were like stuck in that cave by yourself. So it's like there is some like kind of like, well, which one are you kind of? But
This guy doesn't throw it off.
against your thing, I'm gonna say it's so much more satisfying when he acts like that, and then fucking Brody gets him.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if he didn't take that extra fucking gay turn, I wouldn't have like appreciated.
I like
when he says that, but I'm fast. He's like, you are a good guy, and he stabs him in the neck with it, and he's just like, I'm not good, but I'm fast, and it's just like, Brody.
I love that he booby traps him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Those
up to
were the
that
2
point.
times. Sorry.
Right? No,
To cut you off.
it's fine. No, it's. I just thought like I'm okay with him being a villain, and like that's why he was there because all the other guys were evil, but he was just too. It just seemed like too like what are you doing? You're just. You fought all this time to like live, and now you're just gonna be like an idiot. Like I don't know.
Well, that's what's like what psychopaths do.
I mean, yeah.
He
thought he was alone. He thought Brody was out, and when he's alone with a woman,
He's not.
that's the
Because they did kind of show him he was like kind of like being all weirdly trans too. Like it seems like almost like a split personality.
I mean, yeah.
And then like Brody kind of took him out of it, like, hey, hey, you didn't get on the
yeah. I mean, I don't say it like that. That was just like
Yeah, I got you.
My thing is, I really want like a sequel to that story. Maybe not the same cast of characters or something like that, but like I want to know what's going on with that little like test planet and more. I don't think we'll ever get more continuation of that. It's like it's gonna be its own
Ship has
contained
sailed.
I
thing.
think so.
If they do another Predator thing, it's just gonna be a different planet.
What happened to Royce?
Yeah.
That'd be funny if it like they do another Predator in like 4 years from now, like way long, and it literally picks up off that scene where they're watching her.
it's like the
Well,
next
Well,
group.
they're filming 5.
They're doing it, and it's and they're not cutting Predators out. I believe they're not like cutting that movie out.
Okay.
Just the AVPs. Right?
But they are cutting the AVPs out, I believe. They're not going to be part of the universe.
That's okay.
But it is not going to be.
But Brody's out.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to know anything about that.
And see, that's what I don't like about those like separate chapters of stuff. That it's like it's good. It's its own contained thing, and sometimes sequels ruin the greatness of the original.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like fine, but like I don't like when it's just like so then what?
I might be okay with it. I mean, like if the new one's good, I'll still. It's sometimes it's nice to have the one-offs. I don't know.
There's a comic out that gives you more of that story.
That
finishes the Royce. It just finishes the Royce thing. If you're curious about it, it's out there.
No, but I don't give a shit about any comics anymore. Ever since that.
Let's not do this.
Yeah, we'll get that later. We'll get to your comic shit.
Let's not do this. Sorry.
All
right, we're moving on.
Sliding on into it.
Let's slide right into the next topic.
Do you guys want to talk about that X-Men movie?
We have to talk about that
X-Men movie. That wasn't a movie.
Really? All right, hey! Before any of us even say anything,
it was a movie.
Let's have Charles just saw it last night.
Doodle on it.
Shut up over there. We all saw it last week. And we've kind of already discussed it, not on mic. Charles saw it last night. What's your review, Charles?
I liked it. I really liked it. I didn't think it was like amazing or anything. I liked it. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It was good. Mm-hmm. It wasn't super amazing. I think there's some things that they could have done better. So here's the thing with like comic movies and stuff. I'm not so anal on like, oh, he doesn't look the same as in the comics. He doesn't have the same powers. I'm all for like an artist's interpretation of a character. Like they do that all the time in comics, as we've seen. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for like, you know, kind of changing like certain things. I kind of liked how Apocalypse, like how they kind of tell how he got his powers is like transferred like conscious to like different mutants. That's why he's like accumulating so much. I like that because the other alternative is how his actual origin is you know, he's a mutant, but he kind of gets like more powers through alien technology. And I was like, well, I hope they don't go that route. That kind of sounds dumb to go into a movie.
Really? You don't like that? Continue.
Well, in this
yeah,
like
let him
movie,
finish. And then
in this like movie series, I thought that wouldn't have fit. Right? Like I liked how they went. Yeah. And then seeing Apocalypse like first like basically shove that guy in a wall and seeing his powers, I thought that was fucking awesome. Yeah. And he's like his eyes still moving and stuff.
Yeah.
The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, I didn't really like Archangel. Magneto was awesome. Storm was cool. Psylocke was cool. What else? Yeah, I mean I liked it.
It's pretty good memory, dude.
Yeah, well, it's fresh. I just saw it. I'm trying to think of what else to kind of say. I mean, I liked, you know, I like Magneto's story a lot. Like, he's trying to kind of do good and everything, and then kind of fix his past, and then he saved that guy's life and kind of gets fucked. And I kind of like...
Kind of.
It gets super fucked. But I like that he's always kind of getting screwed. Like, Magneto is... It's a weird thing to say, but Magneto's probably one of my favorite X-Men, even though he's not. Yeah, we know what you mean. But the reason I like him so much is he's relatable in a way that he's not necessarily evil. He's just, in his mind, he's not evil. And depending on your perspective, he's not, like, to me, he's not evil. I mean, he's like trying to kill him.
Well, Magneto's always cool.
So that's why I liked kind of how his role played out and how he kind of fell into being part of the Horsemen. That made a lot of sense to me. And then what else is there?
What did Saki think?
She liked it. Okay. She liked it. And then one thing that was interesting, like after seeing Batman v Superman and her not getting most of it, that she got like most of this because they explained it really well for somebody who doesn't know like about the comics. No, you definitely
could understand the movie.
Yeah, so I thought that was
a whole lot
really cool. I liked that ending fight. I thought that was fucking awesome.
Which one?
Where Apocalypse died. Where he gets killed.
What turns into a skeleton.
Yeah. I liked how everybody had to come together and they're taking him on one-on-one and they can't do it.
Right.
I liked how he kind of had like, not a limit to his powers, but he wasn't like in, I know him from the animated series where he's just completely overpowering. Mm-hmm. I was like, alright, if they go that route, it's going to be a little too ridiculous.
They almost seemed overpowering.
Some things I didn't like about the movie.
Lost.
Yeah, let's hear that.
I did not care for Jennifer Lawrence being Mystique. And I haven't liked that this entire time.
Yeah.
The reason because is...
She's Jennifer Lawrence?
No. I mean, she's a good actor and everything, but whenever she's giving, like, her X-Men speech and everything like that, I just felt like it just did not fit. Like, she can't give a good speech. And it's not because she's, like, a girl or something like that. But, like, I feel like as an actor, she just can't. She can't really give that like umph and like rally everybody.
But is it? I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I just think maybe. I always think it's because her character is like always still never like fully on board with it. Like I'm giving like, this speech, but I still kind of like
has her own kind of agenda type of thing, like her own. And sorry.
Oh no, but maybe I'm interpreting that wrong.
I just think her character shouldn't be in the roles that it's in.
Yes.
It's just only in these roles because Jennifer Lawrence is...
Exactly. And I think it doesn't fit at all. I think it's bad casting for the character Mystique, and I think it's way out of character for Mystique. And I'm just like, Mystique shouldn't be the one doing this. It should be Cyclops doing this.
Yeah. Why is she leading the X-Men?
Right. So I was not on board with that at all. And another part that bugged me was...
it's somebody's artistic interpretation of the character, Charles.
Right, but I think it's a bad interpretation. Anyway, that's my opinion.
I think we've heard enough, Charles.
No, I got one more thing. My other problem is the whole Quicksilver scene when he's like rescuing people. I know people like that from the first part, and it was like a minute or two from the first one, or was it Days of Future Past? Yeah. It was like from there, but it was like a whole 5-10 minutes.
It was good in Days of Future Past. It was fucking stupid in this new one.
I thought it was a little like
drug on.
If they would have done it for like 20 seconds or something, it would have been great. But it just dragged on and on. I was like, okay.
Fucking ever.
And another thing, just my ending point. What I liked about this movie, every time I thought it was like a slow part, and I was like, I don't care about this like part of the story, it really kickstarted into something. Like in the beginning, Moira McTaggart, when she's like going into the fucking thing, I was like, I don't give a shit about this. But then it wakes up Apocalypse. I was like, okay, well, this is moving the plot.
Well, the problem is like, I had that issue where like I'm like, oh boy, this is starting to drag. It's like where your ass starts to hurt. You start being aware of your ass planted in a shitty seat, and you're like, I hate when it gets to that point because it doesn't pull me back in. I'm like, my ass hurts. I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
So I know you guys hated it, so I want to hear your
guys. I almost kind of agree. I almost agree with everything that you said. I didn't hate the movie. I came out of it being like, I enjoyed aspects of it. I thought it was cool, but it just wasn't like blow you away cool.
I don't think it was blow you away cool either.
You said it was a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Yeah.
I mean, that's not that great, really.
I mean, it's not amazing.
10, that's like a high score.
If I had to rate like
Civil War, like mid-level C.
Once you go to 6, then it starts to be like it's bad, in my opinion.
Okay. Right. But I also am biased because X-Men is my favorite team, like from comics, and Apocalypse is my all-time favorite villain of like anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's what I think I have a problem with. Is like when they started introducing the idea that this is going to be Cyclops, this is going to be Storm, and Beast will be there, Quicksilver will be there. I was kind of like, I was actually getting excited. I was like, these X-Men I like. I like when Charles is just sitting at the mansion, kind of. Go here, guys.
Being Charles Xavier.
Yeah. And Magneto's a villain. They're gonna fight. And then when it showed up, and it was Cyclops is a lame kid. Jean Grey was actually cool. And
I liked Cyclops. Actually.
I liked Jean Grey.
I don't know. I didn't like that he was kind of. I didn't like that he was a whack teenager.
Cyclops was like the best character.
When you're gonna grow up to be a leader, you can't have this background of being fucking dweeby and shit.
He wasn't even that dweeby.
He's dweeby.
He was the leader though. He was like definitely the leader of that pack, though.
They did a lot better with him than they have in any other.
They're like littler kids. You were a dweeb. We know he was a dweeb.
You were a dweeb.
I wasn't a dweeb.
You were like King Dweeb.
That was cool.
I'll admit I was a dweeb, but I've seen that hair. You were a dweeb.
I wasn't a dweeb.
Gentlemen, I was a dweeb.
That's your buddy.
We weren't really that good of friends in high school.
Let's get into Cyclops because I want to talk about it. Cyclops, for those who don't know, who's probably everybody who is and isn't listening, Cyclops is my all-time favorite superhero. So I have a big stake in Cyclops.
What?
Oh.
Not gaily, but...
but homosexually.
For me, after the way Cyclops has been treated in all these movies, I appreciated the effort that they made to make Cyclops. No, because he did. I thought Ty Sheridan, he did a good job as Cyclops as far as personality. The problem is he just doesn't have the look for me, and he didn't have the look. Just he was wearing the sunglasses the whole time. He only had the visor at the end. If we could have gotten like more visor, I know it was like an origin story. But
a lot of origins in there.
There's a lot of origins for these characters who really shouldn't need origins because they had the other X-Men movies. You knew who Cyclops was. You knew who Jean Grey was if you've watched any of them. Mm-hmm. And I kind of don't like the way that they always... It seems like one of the biggest Cyclops stories is his rivalry with Wolverine. And it always seems like in a lot of these adaptations, it's not ever a thing. Because there's always like a love triangle with like Jean Grey. But this one, it always feels like Cyclops is like way just like on a different like team. They don't feel like a team, you know? And in this one, it's like, I know Wolverine was barely in it, but it just the way it's set up, it was clearly like the Cyclops team, and then there was the important team, is what I felt like. Yeah. And I felt like Cyclops should have been like more important.
Well, they were the young team though. They weren't really.
Yeah,
they weren't really a team. I mean, they weren't. They shouldn't even have been there really, because they're so young. But they kind of got dragged into it.
Right. I wish they would have been, I guess, like maybe trained before so that they were part of the team. I don't know.
Is there even an X-Men team in that movie though at all? Because that's the idea. There is no X-Men.
Right. Yeah, there is
at the end of the movie, like, you are the X-Men now.
But there's been so many. I've seen so many adaptations, and maybe this is my own personal bias, but there's so many adaptations where they're kids. Like they're always kids in like all these cartoons, and in the comics now they're like, oh, let's bring the kids back. And my own personal vision of Cyclops is he's this strong leader who, you know,
Stallion.
He has this. Okay, well, you know, you can't shit on the amount of cap stuff.
The amount of cap stuff I can't give back.
Okay, but I'm just.
Yeah, we all like Cyclops,
right? But yeah, but I'm just saying that I had a certain vision of what I wanted Cyclops to be, and he didn't fit that. And so when people, I mean, if you say he's your favorite part of the movie, I could agree with that because they did a good job with him as far as being a teenager version of Cyclops. I just didn't.
Yeah, I guess I'm not holding. I'm not holding it as hard as like because like he's just a young version of him. But I thought this was the best representation of Cyclops for sure. I thought the kid did a good job. I wasn't. You guys have a real big concern with like the.
I'm excited for an X-Men movie.
Yes.
Like with men and women
okay.
as a team. I want a Cyclops, Gambit, Rogue, Wolverine, Beast. I want this shirt.
Yes.
In a movie. I want men, women,
banging.
bold, confident in themselves, confident in their shit.
And we haven't got that. The movies we got, it was like the Wolverine show and Pals, and you know Cyclops was just like shit on. You know,
that was stupid.
And it's just like all the other X-Men, like Iceman and stuff, were like way younger than Cyclops. There's always like that age. I hate that age disparity where some of them are kids, some of them are adults. Like, why don't they all just be X-Men? Yeah, that's just my problem.
Bryan Singer.
Right. So
that's why I really liked First Class, because First Class kind of had the X-Men team feel. They were in their like yellow and blue X-Men suits, but they still had like the team feel where there was Magneto, there was Professor X, but it was like Beast and all of them. They were young, but they didn't seem like they were like the kid unimportant team. They were going against the enemies of like, you know, what could have been like a brotherhood of that mutants back then, where they fight the Azazel and like the Wind guy. They're kind of all having their own battles. Banshee's flying around like Banshee doing his thing, Havoc shooting his stuff, and that was for me. First Class was the best Magneto stuff we've ever gotten. Because my issue with Magneto in most of the movies is like just kind of you liked the end fight, but he just kind of just stood there and was just like pushing a bunch of like metal dust into like a circle for the entire time. But in like First Class, he got to do a lot of cool shit where it's like he goes into that one bar with the German guys and he like throws a knife into a guy, brings it back, and then has the gun go and shoot. It's just like stuff like that where it's like ooh. Or he's like just doing the missiles back and forth, or the coin going through. Like there's a lot of cooler.
Yeah, that was probably the best Magneto
If one of those metal splinters had gotten into Apocalypse, though, man, that dude would have been annoyed. I hate metal splinters.
Yeah, I know, especially fiberglass splinters.
Well, and I think in Days of Future Past, like the big payout for Magneto is supposed to be when he takes the stadium, but I always think it's like it's too big.
It's too big.
Well, it's too big, and for me, I like First Class was the best X-Men feel we got. Especially like the soundtrack was amazing in my opinion. Yeah, but like they had the Blackbird, which in this one just got blown up and killed Havoc apparently. But like they had the Blackbird and they were coming out, and then they had Magneto down. Like let's just bring their fucking sub out of the water. And he brings down. That's a cool scene, but then he kind of also gets like fucked with by one of the mutants, so it like goes onto the beach.
Yeah, you're selling me on First Class.
First Class was fantastic.
I do remember thinking
that's why I was always bummed out.
I do remember thinking the first movie, Days of Future Past, was like the best movie though.
See, but that's that. I didn't have an issue with it, but I thought First Class was better, just because Days of Future Past kind of had a lot of the.
Okay, well we're not reviewing those movies.
We're not, but fuck me. You know, we can go into all sorts of other fucking movies that we're not reviewing and get back to Predators, but fuck me. I'm just pleading my case of like that to me was the best X-Men team. When you get to Days of Future Past, it was kind of like the same thing with like you had the future Bryan Singer's versions where they're all just kind of like sitting in a room like oh fuck, and then you had the other one where it's just Wolverine just like that bone claws. Hey, by the way, let's just walk around, and that's pretty much all they did. I don't know.
This isn't the end, right? We're getting
I
more
hope
I
it's
thought
movies.
it was.
I think
Well, I thought a lot of them said they didn't. Like I know
I know
Mystique originally said she wasn't going to come back.
Right.
But then they're talking about Mystique's spinoff.
With or without her.
But they might talk about it, but it doesn't necessarily mean she's going to
Why
do
would
it.
you
Who likes
want a
Mystique that much?
I don't know.
Singer.
Singer.
Well, I mean, he didn't originally because in the early ones, she wasn't like that big of a.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't like her because he's the one that said
Mystique
he's the one fine.
Mystique came
without
prominent in First Class is when Mystique got like a different.
Well,
Jennifer Lawrence wasn't Jennifer Lawrence then.
No, but she wasn't as big as she ended up being in Days of
pretty
Future
big.
Past. Days of Future Past, she's like
They wrote
the one
her,
on
but
the
they
rock.
wrote her as like his.
She is pretty big.
She's
pretty big.
She's not
but
as big as
not
she gets.
But she was pretty big. I mean, they wrote her character as
hero.
well that, but also as like his sister, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was.
I mean, she was big, but I didn't
She's
see
hero,
her like
she's
so much
family,
bigger than the others.
she's the X-Men.
Where in these next ones, they're like, oh, fucking Mystique, you're the reason I wanted to be an X-Man.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought that was stupid. I was so sick of that.
Well, no, but
Which-
to that point though, because of what happened in Days of Future Past, the timeline is different.
Which is
That's
hard
what you guys
for
don't
me. It's very
understand. The
hard.
timeline is.
I know.
No,
it's
you don't
different.
sound like you do get it
I don't
because you're
know
all like,
why.
why is Mystique in it? She's a hero. Well, the timeline's different. Mystique in this version didn't kill Trask, and they saw like a figure of a mutant, like a first mutant on TV, like as a mutant. Like so, all other mutants were able to come out and be like, oh, it's okay to be out there. It's okay to be a mutant. Like this is our hero, our public figure. She's out there, and in this movie, she kind of like doesn't want that. She's like, I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. But like, it's kind of this myth that's just been kind of created about her.
Great.
No, I
Still
agree.
stupid.
That's what it's hard for me. I get that. That's hard.
I just think
for me.
when you say
I
this,
understand.
when you
I
say
do
you don't
like
get the
the
point of
idea-
it, it's like it makes sense what
I
it
don't think
is.
get the point.
I like the idea of it being a long setup.
I'm
for
defending
her
the
to
movie. I don't
then
even fucking like it.
I like it for a long setup for her to actually take Rogue and raise her, and because that's kind of like Rogue's background. Maybe we get a good Rogue.
Isn't Nightcrawler supposed to be her kid
Yeah.
with Azazel?
Yes.
Yeah.
So did they bang?
Yeah. Oh, not in that
I actually
movie.
thought when they kept showing the way they were in the trailer, when they jump out to the alley and he looks at her and says, "It's you." I thought it was gonna be like, "Oh, he knows. That's his mom."
That's what I thought too.
And then they moved on. I was like, "Oh no, it's not a thing."
Yeah, they didn't know. Did they even have a single scene with Mystique and Azazel, like even kind of like making eyes at each other or anything?
No, Azazel was like a
But
freak.
Yeah.
but the movie was like First Class, and then Days of Future Past is way later. I mean, it's like years have passed, and like
Azazel's
she was
been
with
dead.
that crew for a while, so it could have happened.
Yeah, but there was no like, and they didn't
Shannon.
even. Yeah, that was poorly. They just handled Mystique just weird. And
That's another thing that's hard is the time jumps between them because Eric looks like he's kind of aging, but he doesn't look like he's aged 20 years. Charles doesn't look like he's aged. J-Law doesn't really look like she's aged maybe 5 years.
But well, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Charles. You're right. Charles and
Havoc,
Xavier.
Havoc went from 20 to 25. He's
Havoc
he's, but
looked
he's supposed
like
to be
he
40.
No, they tried to make.
But he's
it.
supposed to
I
be
had a hard
40.
time with that. I think they tried.
in their way of time frame.
They tried to make him look older, but I kept thinking like
Which made it- and
they
he's
just
supposed to be
slapped longer
40.
hair on him.
And he's supposed to have like a 16, 17-year-old brother.
Why is he? What?
What
He's
the
supposed to be
fuck?
40?
Just for the way that the years worked from to be in
Because the first
to
one's
be
in
in
the 60s.
Vietnam,
First one's a fucking
to be in
human missile
83,
crisis.
to be in the
Right,
19 to be
that's
into
right.
1960s.
That is kind
He
of
would have been
Okay.
like I think the youngest that they did the math was for him to be in Days of Future Past and then to be in Apocalypse. He would have had the youngest he could be in Apocalypse is 36.
Jeez Louise. And he has a 17-year-old brother. That's kind of weird.
Not that weird.
I mean,
It's not that weird.
Yeah.
It's a stretch, but the taffy didn't break.
Yeah.
It's a stretch, but I can live with it. It's a fucking movie.
All right, so Ross, you just seem to be like shitting on this movie.
I
wanna know
Chomping
why.
at the bit.
But a great defender of it.
I'm not chomping at the bit.
It was a 7.
I thought it sucked.
So why?
His rating scale just
Like
it's a
everything
problem.
you described, I'm like the opposite of most of it. Like I thought Apocalypse was fucking stupid.
I would have
Why?
been. I would have been really into them
I thought
using
he-
aliens, but I bet they can't because the Kree is Marvel, and the
It's not-
aliens always end
I
up
think
being
it was
Kree
just
and
so
Marvel.
complicated. I think.
wasn't it? Was it the
It's not
Kree
that
or the
complicated.
Shi'ar? It's always
Shi'ar.
the Shi'ar
It's a
with
Shi'ar.
X-Men.
Shi'ar.
But it could be the Kree.
It's not that complicated. He was.
Because they're blue, right?
Yeah,
It's not that complicated. They could have done it.
Yeah.
His power is that he absorbs other mutants' powers. He gets picked up by an alien race. He's gone for years. They bring him back, and he's way more powerful from being gone.
It's complicated for
Not
Bryan
that
Singer.
fucking hard. Not that fucking hard. Instead of we get some like weird circus version, we bring out Ivan Ooze, and he just cruises around. He picks the first dumbest fucking mutants he can see. Like, I'm gonna find the strongest power. Like, I ran into a girl. She can make rain. She seems fine.
Pretty strong.
But I'm gonna make her
That
hair.
was pretty strong.
Shut up.
She
I
was
gave
strong.
you
I don't
time.
agree with
I
that.
gave you time.
All right,
I gave you
She
time.
was strong, but the Psylocke pick,
Gave you
Angel
time.
pick.
I gave him time. I gave everybody time. I gave everybody time. When I start talking, it's like I don't agree with anything. He runs in the storm. He's like, I'm gonna put a guy in the wall. Okay.
You don't feel it, do you?
Like, okay,
You
cool.
feel it
I mean,
now.
he didn't even kill the guy. I mean, somebody could just come out like, okay, let me get my jackhammer and get him out.
Like he died.
No, he was moving. He was
His eyes
moving.
are moving.
His eyes are moving.
Not for long.
Not for
I'm
long.
sure he
though.
died.
Debatable.
There's someone that walks by with like a
Cool.
a spoon
Cool.
of burgers. Oh, like you never talk over anybody.
Yeah. I was a
Charles,
This time,
dude, I
but
gave you
every other
fucking
time.
10 minutes to listen to your fucking stupid fucking review.
The entire time
The
you're
more you
listening,
made
you're
good
like staring
points.
around as if you're not listening.
Okay, so Ivan Ooze, right?
This is your listening.
Yeah, exactly. The whole
All
time.
right, I'm gonna listen to this.
That was
stupid
stupid,
point.
but go
I'm
on.
gonna listen to this stupid
Like the whole
point.
fucking time.
That's dumb.
Napoleon.
Ivan Ooze. He looked dumb. That's all we can all
He
admit
looked
that.
that good.
We can all admit
Oh,
that.
this looks dumb though.
I wish they had just explained the
Either way.
fucking tubes, which would have been great if they were like, oh, he's
well,
part
before-
alien technology.
Before they made sense because they're
Yeah.
alien technology. I didn't mind the very beginning when I was kind of like, okay, sure. Enough, I guess. So yeah, he runs in, he finds like the first mutants he sees, even though he's gonna find the most powerful ones. He grabs Storm, he's like, and your hair is white now.
They don't even really get into Psylocke's powers.
He runs
She just
into
has a pink
Psylocke.
lightsaber.
She's hot.
And a swimsuit for no
I'll
reason.
give her that.
Yeah, I don't care. There's a reason. Stab that ass.
I like Psylocke the best. I mean, yeah, Angel sucked.
They should have.
I'm gonna give you a tattoo.
They should have warped out of that barn right away. Like,
But
what are
again,
you
it's
stupid? Why'd you bring me to this guy? I don't
Magneto's
care
the
if
only
he.
one
Did
that-
he
I
say
don't care if he
was
won a
one of the
couple-
most powerful
Yes.
movies?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care if he won a couple underground mutant fights.
he does. The only one that he got that would be Magneto. That was like the most powerful.
Storm works, in my opinion.
Which, by the way, Angel beat Blob. It was Blob. in the
Yeah.
first
yeah, it
one.
was Blob.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Angel beat Blob?
I don't know.
He's a blob, though.
I don't know.
When all his attacks are physical and Blob absorbs physical
Right.
attacks.
There's like 0 chance Angel beats Blob. You can't move the
Well,
Blob. That's
yeah.
his whole thing.
All right. Now this is another thing. I thought like that, like he was like sort of because I know in the comics and in the cartoon for sure he has like some like a kind of like a mind control on his 4 horsemen, and in this one they felt like volunteers for
Totally.
sure. Like, oh, I'm gonna enhance your powers, but like that was like free will. Like they say it briefly, like, oh well, with Eric, which Eric was the one that made the most sense to me. I was like, yeah, kind of
Totally
like
makes
he's
sense.
like in a fucking bad place. He would join. Storm, maybe. Like, she was taken out of, like, the poverty thing. I guess they
really
make enough sense, I guess. Like,
That makes sense.
shut up! Angel, I guess he gave his wings back, but still, I mean, it's like they're blindly following this guy
Why
who's
was
like
Psylocke?
destroying
They
her.
were all kind of.
Psylocke was just like down for anything. She just showed up like,
She had the power.
Well, he clearly picked her because like, ooh, I think some ass here. So
Yeah.
He was all dick hard,
Everyone else
yes.
tried to end of their rope in a way.
Psylocke wasn't. She was just kind of
But
hanging
it was
out.
not for Psylocke, but she's clearly because she's hot. He was just like, he went for a powerful mutant, he saw her, he was like, well, you know what? 3's good. Get over here.
I mean, she seemed like she had good power.
She had good power, she was
Pink
strong,
sword.
but she was hot.
He was hot.
Doesn't she have telepathy, or doesn't she have mental powers of some kind?
I thought she was the one teleporting them all.
I totally thought that
It's
was
him.
her. That was her fucking. That's what she brought to the table. She's like, oh, we could
No,
teleport to
she-
these angels,
It was him.
and then he was doing it without her.
She is a telepath, though.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, though, with the whole thing, even though I'm like picking out stuff, I just thought the overall story of the whole thing was kind of weak.
It was weak.
It just really wasn't. It really like didn't go anywhere that far. It tried to be very epic, and it was very not. Like, I thought the CGI was kind of weak in it as well.
The CGI was bad. I saw that chopping of the tree in the fire. I was like, oh.
I thought the CGI was
That was
weak.
bad, I
I
agree.
mean, like I was just really expecting a better movie. A week ago, I really hated it. A week farther in, I'm like, it just really was not a very good movie. I really just not what I wanted at all. Like when I think about it more, even when I'm describing it, I'm like, it's not as fucking terrible as when I first walked in. I was like, fuck this. You know, it's a fucking 2 out of 10. Now it's probably like a 5. It's like it's a fucking movie, but like I don't want a fucking movie from X-Men.
Right.
Like you guys have been giving me like the last 3 for sure have been good, and the last one for me was very good. X-Men First Class was actually very good, and Days of Future Past was really good. This one was not very good.
I think it's the weakest.
It was 100% the weakest. I did not at any point ever get on board with Ivan Ooze. I just didn't. I just thought he like. I think Apocalypse could have been done well. I don't think he was done well. I don't think it was the actor. I just think the way he looked, the way what he was, his agenda, everything was just kind of fucking dumb.
But that's his usual agenda.
Okay. Well,
one thing that slowed me down on Apocalypse and slowed me down at the end of the movie that I couldn't stop thinking about was he controls Charles's power to get the nukes all launched into the air, but then can't control Charles later. And I didn't understand.
I think that's because Charles was like,
why can't he control him through the what's it called?
it's a hole.
Brainiac machine.
Oh,
Cerebro.
It's
yeah.
a hole, Naps.
And
It's
why
a
can't
hole.
why can't he just touch Charles and then make him make
He was able to kind of do
nukes
it.
do
He only
things?
can have 4. So.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't
Which he's not even controlling. They can turn on him at any moment.
Right,
He
Max,
like
you
runs
confirmed
into
that.
Charles, or he's like, fuck, I should have gotten him.
So you know, I normally I cut things together myself really quickly and I move on
It's
and
a
I enjoy
whole-
it. But that one was like,
It's holy.
if you're controlling everybody in the world, you're controlling non-mutants.
Wait, didn't he
Why don't
use...
you just have the humans slice their own throat right there and then change the world?
Well, he wanted... Wait, I'm confused by this. Wait, so he was able to control everybody through Cerebro,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Then they
Then
destroyed
Cerebro got
Cerebro.
destroyed.
Right.
So I don't
But he
understand.
has Charles.
But why was he
now.
able to control
Physically,
Charles?
why can't he touch Charles and control the
not
people through?
Why was he able to
through
control?
Charles?
Why was he able to control Charles
Like
when he was
But
on
then how was he
Cerebro?
able to control Charles through Cerebro?
Because he had Cerebro.
Cerebro,
like,
Cerebro
Charles
like,
has Cerebro.
Cerebro connects him to mutants. Like he could like talk to people and be like,
Right.
"Hey, like Mora McTaggart."
That's Charles can do that.
Yeah, through Cerebro. So when
Through Cerebro.
Right. But
So
he can talk
I-
to people. He can talk to people like that across the room without Cerebro.
but Cerebro
Yeah, but-
makes it so where you can do it from wherever.
Project
Exactly.
right. Projects it.
So
he projects it.
why does Apocalypse have the ability to control Charles?
Charles is projecting into his.
He's projecting into somebody near him, and Apocalypse is just strong enough to where he's like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's a connection."
So
So
he, like,
why
makes
is
the
he
jump.
not strong?
So
why
why
is he not
isn't
strong
he-
enough when he's fucking right
When
next
he's
to him?
right next to him, why can't he control Charles when he's with Charles?
Well, he can't control
Charles, can
everybody just through Charles. He would need Cerebro.
I don't
That
want
was
him
the
to
whole
control
thing.
everybody.
he? He can control
Now that he
Charles,
has
though.
Charles,
He was making Charles.
I want him just to control.
Was he making
The
Charles
people-
say that
He
stuff?
was
or
making
just-
Charles say stuff, but Charles was also able to kind of send side
Also
stuff
able to send his
Jean
own
Grey.
message.
Right.
But he was still controlling.
But he
him.
was controlling Charles.
Yeah.
And then the very last thing he says,
So
he's
why
like,
can't he
got back
control Charles later?
You're
What do
right
you mean
though.
control?
He gave off the
Because he was in pit
impression.
house.
He gave
Dumb
Oh,
part.
Charles, let him launch the nukes.
Oh, you mean when like
Xavier was actually fine.
you were
with
in my
the nukes
house, and
being
then they're
launched.
literally in his house.
He did give off the impression that he was like, it would be as if like a terrorist had a gun to your head. It's like, you send this message, all right, I'm sending it. Like, Gene, by the way, like he did give off that impression. He didn't give off the impression he was being controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, see. I thought of it more as like he was just like, I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't do this.
Right. He was
Not that he was.
Oh.
making
Yeah.
He was frowning at
So
him like,
he made Charles make the people launch the nukes with
Yes.
fear, and then he didn't have the fear.
Wait,
I don't
No,
know.
they
No,
launched-
he just
Oh,
sent
I don't
a
know.
message.
No,
They
that
launched-
part. I
so
think
who
he was
launched
supposed
the
to-
fucking
No, they launched the nukes when he got control of Cerebro.
Cerebro.
Cerebro's like, yeah, we're pounding it.
This
That's what
conversation.
gave him
how
the
does
power
he-
to do it.
He did use Charles
So-
with Cerebro.
So
to launch.
Apocalypse in Cerebro can control people.
Yeah.
Yes. Not just through Charles.
No, I get that
But he
part.
could only-
So
he
he used
amplified
Charles
Charles
as a he used Xavier
As
as
a-
a router.
Yeah.
But why is
exactly.
he able to? Why is he
That
able
is
to?
a weird connection.
But why is
so
he able to
weird.
link into Xavier there, but not link into Xavier later?
No, because Cerebro, he can get into Cerebro.
The fact
but
of
he
this
can't-
conversation means it's a little holy.
So
It's
wait,
a little. It's
I
a
don't
little.
understand that whole.
No,
I don't
there's
understand.
no hole.
It is
Okay,
a
maybe
hole.
not a hole. Maybe not a hole. It's just weak.
Because he's not mind controlling Magneto or anybody. He's not mind
Yeah,
controlling.
yeah. I've lost interest, but you win it.
Wait, I seriously don't understand what the issue is here. It made sense.
Oh my
to
god, I
me.
don't even give a fuck
Made
about this
perfect
issue
sense.
anymore.
okay.
It makes
Cool.
perfect sense.
Cool.
'Cause
Perfect sense, guys.
Cerebro, he can control.
Perfect sense,
through
guys.
Cerebro. He can.
Well, what doesn't
access
make
it.
sense?
But
Through-
after he's
through-
basically he's
through
like, I'm going to
Cerebro-
amplify your power so you can talk to everybody, but he can't control Charles. So it's basically the terrorist thing. Like he's amplifying me. Like, all right, talk to everybody. But it's
So
without
who
Cerebro,
can-
he can't actually control
Who's doing the controlling that launches the nukes?
Apocalypse when Cerebro is active. That's why they had to blow it up. They're like,
Yeah.
get the fucking Cerebro out of here.
Okay.
Blow it up.
But Charles can control people in the same room as him. He stops an entire airport.
Right.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Apocalypse be able to get everyone in,
Yeah.
say, that room with Charles to fucking snap their own neck?
Because he can't control Charles.
He is controlling Charles though in the Cerebro part, right?
Cerebro part.
In the Cerebro-
Because of Cerebro. Cerebro is where.
But why is he able to control Charles there?
So
Because he's accessing Cerebro through Charles. And Cerebro is
Oh,
like.
he's sending the message. instead
Yes,
of-
through
Yes.
Cerebro. That's why they have to blow up Cerebro.
And that's why when they blew up Cerebro, he lost
That's
control
why he
of
has to
everyone.
come down and be like, all right, we're taking you and you got to do it yourself.
So Charles opened up a pathway between
To
him and
access
Apocalypse,
Cerebro.
Yeah.
and Apocalypse took over that control.
Yes.
Yes.
And since Charles doesn't open up another bridge, Apocalypse can't control
He
Charles.
can't get in.
Exactly.
Cerebro's gone.
I needed that shit explained. Thank you guys.
But why does Charles have the black pupils? And he's like, I've never felt power like this.
Because
Feeling
through Cerebro.
apocalypse.
Because he opened the bridge that these two fuckheads just described to us, that I invented in my cut of their shitty story,
Yeah.
that allows Charles and
he doesn't
everybody else in the earth to
That
have
was
black
super
eyes.
clear.
No, your logic, it checks out. Doesn't mean that I like it.
Okay. But
It
but
seems
just don't
weird,
say
man.
it doesn't make sense.
I have taken it back, Charles.
So you're saying
I've
Charles
taken
is
it back.
sensing it?
Like, let's
It's
just
like,
all
oh.
calm down.
Yeah, he's just sensing Apocalypse taking over the bridgeway, and that is manifested in
Yeah,
black
because
pupils.
his mind is basically attached to Cerebro, and if Apocalypse is inside Cerebro, it's like, holy fuck, I can't.
This is my
All right, I mean,
house.
okay.
Sure. Definitely agree with you on the part that the Quicksilver part was really dumb.
It seems so forced.
I'm
based
also
on,
very-
Yeah.
Based
Yeah.
on people like this from the first one, let's do it times a billion.
Exactly.
With more explosions and funny laughter.
I thought it was very convenient that the Weapon X program showed up right after. Like, we're coming. We'll be like, we've been waiting for this.
The what?
Well,
Well,
the Wolverine people.
They explain why they came. Because they're like, hey, Charles just controlled a bunch of nukes. So we had to
Yeah.
come down and find
Yeah.
out what the fuck was
It's
going
still-
on.
But
yes.
they weren't in a warp drive
But
helicopter.
they got their, and then they go all the way back to fucking Canada like that. They were hanging out. Like, it's stupid.
Maybe they had a.
When a movie's stupid, I find things like this stupid. If the movie's good, I would have let it go. But the movie sucked for me, so it's a fucking another issue for me.
What's the issue?
Here,
Cool, because you liked it.
Here's
Did
like-
you catch any of that? Did you catch any of that?
here's a plot hole, maybe. Stryker. Wasn't he Mystique at the end of Days of Future Past?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yes and no.
That guy's not aging either.
What?
Yes and no.
That guy's not aged.
That guy's not aging. They should have casted somebody over.
Yeah.
I mean, how long is it? Oh, it's been
a long
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Stryker isn't. He's not like taken prisoner or anything in Days of Future Past.
He's just missing, right? What happened to him?
He takes Wolverine from the boat.
No,
and
No, that was
Mystique.
That was Mystique at the very end.
That's the
Oh,
thing.
that's right.
That's
I don't
the
remember.
issue.
I don't remember what happened to
I
Stryker.
forgot about that one.
She sold him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. She took Wolverine.
She took Wolverine. So the only logical explanation is that she's like, "Okay, Wolverine, you're free," and then Stryker got him later.
Yeah, well, that's
Which
very
is-
possible.
which is
Fucking
kinda
Wolverine
stupid.
always gets
Or she got
fucking-
caught. And,
Maybe.
For me, with these X-Men movies,
Yeah.
even giving a shit about their timeline or what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, their timeline
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Their timeline, I have to admit, is complete. It's
It's
just
just like
it's
fucking-
trash.
Okay, but it shouldn't be fucked up because it was a continuation of that
It shouldn't be,
timeline.
right?
Damn, I forgot that was.
Their timeline
That's-
is
that's
trash
a big
in every
issue for
movie.
me now.
I don't well.
It's a big issue.
No, because at the end of it was the end of what, the Wolverine movie? Where,
Because you liked it,
Well,
Charles.
and then in the Days of Future Past, okay, so she gets him, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes back to the future.
No, he doesn't. He just
His
like
mind goes
His
back.
mind goes
Mind.
back to the future, and he has to be told, what happened. And so, there's a time there where he's actually in incarceration as the Weapon X project, which it makes sense. He doesn't remember because he doesn't remember that project. But it's like, boy, it's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Those connections
That's-
between those movies and the timeline.
that timeline though. It's not that weird. I mean, that's just typical sci-fi though. I mean, like he came back into consciousness, but like his body had been kind of moving. I mean,
I had an issue with at the end of the Wolverine when Magneto and Charles show up at the airport. It's just like modern day, and you see like Trask on like the TV, and they're like, "Hey, Wolverine, we're gonna need you." And then Days of Future Past, this is like dystopian future that they're like a part of. Like, what? How the fuck did they make that jump?
was years later.
But
they
talking
like
about
That's probably right when it
That's
started.
an old Wolverine.
No, it's not.
no.
It's not.
Like at the end of the movie, the Wolverine, it's kind of like Charles and
Not the
Magneto are
airport one,
together.
the-
Like,
in the-
Oh,
we're
yeah.
teaming up.
Dystopian
We need
future,
your help
yeah.
because of these fucking the Trask and the Sentinels.
Yeah. Well, I think what happens.
But
is
then they're like all in like space suits and
yeah,
like
but they
fucking.
shut up. They probably grabbed him right when like the first Sentinel came out. Came out. That's why they were grabbing him, and then the Days of Future Past is like years after that scene. Like years. Like the whole everybody's been fucking
The first
decimated.
Sentinel comes out to start decimating, and then technology is advancing, and we're in a dystopian future.
Yeah, like the human race. The human race is advancing. It's just the
How's it
mutants.
advancing when the Sentinel's annihilating shit?
It's
Annihilating
annihilating
mutants.
It annihilates mutants and people. That was the whole thing.
No, not people.
No,
Yeah,
people too. People
It's
who are
mutant
helping.
They
sympathizers,
decided
but
to
it
go
doesn't.
human sympathizer.
But they also keep prisoners. They keep people that are smart, and they make them work.
Well, why does the
They have
why
safe
do
camps
they
and
have
everything.
future weapons in Terminator?
I hated everything about that. I hate like that. No, that was my main issue. That was my main issue with Salvation. Because when Salvation came out and they're all like kind of like fucked up and they have like AKs and shit, I was like, okay, so at what point are they gonna be like future Space Marines?
Well, they had M4s and M16s.
But
too.
it's the
Yeah.
robots that are making the
They're
fucking
never
weapons.
Space Marines. In like the flashbacks and like Judgment Day and stuff, you see like lasers and
Not in
and they're like-
space.
Yeah, that's...
well, okay, not Space Marine, future Marines, whatever.
A
Lasers.
lot better than Space Marine. I don't see him floating out there like attached to another guy, like
It's,
Uh,
it's not Hicks.
sharing the same air.
Hicks is Kyle Reese.
Yeah, Hicks' calories.
He wasn't
Huh?
killed in
Let's-
Aliens. He actually landed
Let's
in
link 'em
dystopian
all.
LA, and then was sent back to 1984 LA.
I'll show you that stuff I'm talking about with the X-Men.
So X-Men CGI was terrible. The ending thing was okay. I mean, I kind of liked how they all had to blast him. I like that. I was hoping the Xavier thing, like, well, it's my house, would be a little cooler.
Me too.
I thought that was like a little. It wasn't like when he first did it. I was like, it's kind of lame wordage, but like, hey, he's in a battle in his mind. He's kind of got his ass kicked in his mind. Until what's
in your own house.
until what's her name? Jean Grey shows up and unleashes the Phoenix.
I like that.
Okay,
I thought that was really cool.
of course you did. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Phoenix. Right? I don't have a problem with the Phoenix being unleashed. I get it. It has to be unleashed to take out like a really powerful thing. But any other time the Phoenix is unleashed, it's out and she can't get back. She's just fucked. Well, this one's just like, we're out and we're good. And now we're building the house in a really dumb way. Me and Magneto, we just build the house.
It was referencing back to Apocalypse in the post-credit scene.
Oh, where he's building the pyramid.
Days of Future Past. Yeah, remember?
Cool.
I thought it was referencing back to Deadpool when they're like, the house blows up every couple of years. And the house blew up like fucking clockwork.
Yeah, it did.
It blew the fuck.
I was expecting Deadpool to come out like, look!
I don't know if it's because I was out on
I was out
with like other things, but I was like, you can't build a house like that.
You can't build a house like that.
It won't
I don't know
stay
if it's because of
together.
my job or something. I'm looking at it like, you can't fucking build a house like that.
Someone should be pre-wiring it at least.
need a
or
fucking-
something.
yeah,
You can't
where's
just be putting
the
that shit
pre-wiring?
together all
Yeah, like,
quickly.
you have the fucking permits for that?
I feel like to me, I like ignore so
Start
much of
picking
that
up
shit
that
because it's
shit.
kind of like what you were saying earlier. Where do you draw the line? It's like big mutant
No,
turtles.
but this
It's
is
like,
the
oh,
thing. This is the thing, and I will 100% admit this. If I'm liking the movie overall,
You ignore it.
I ignore things like that. Since you had a good experience, you kind of just whatever. It's like whatever. But like when you're not liking a movie, everything that's kind of dumb is just magnified. So that's why because I was very out by the end. I was like, this is dumb. This movie fucking sucks. Like it's just this movie sucks.
What made you like get to that point where it's like the point of no
It was
return?
very early on. I was actually like, this is fucking lame.
Because it like was
Just
slow to start out.
No, it wasn't slow. It was never really slow. It was
I
just
think it was-
what they were doing was just like I don't give a fuck. And this is stupid. On your point, the fucking McTaggart part was like, let's just have something that was in the first movie discover Apocalypse for no reason.
She was really
Like, let's just bring her into the movie just so like Xavier can like be into somebody.
really
Like
unneeded.
let's just bring somebody in.
Well, wasn't she like working on his case basically and like trying to find out more about
Well,
him?
McTaggart's
Yes,
kind
they
of a
made
big
her.
deal, I think. I like that they
that
hinted at their
actress.
kid.
I'm into the actress. She fucking made the whole thing happen, bitch. She fucking left the fucking
Charles
shit.
and- It's
Just,
her fault.
just slide that fucking towel back over. No apocalypse.
Yeah.
What's his name? The fucker with the fucking giant flat top?
What?
Huh?
What's the psycho kid? Charles's kid in the comics with the giant flat top. I fucking forgot his name now.
Charles Xavier's kid.
Xavier has a kid in the comics,
I'm sure he does. I'm sure they all
and
get
it's
kids.
and he's a psycho.
You're,
I feel like I know.
He's got a
Legion?
Legion. Yes, thank
that's
you.
Charles's kid.
That's Charles's kid with McTaggart.
I thought it. Wouldn't it be his kid with Lilandra or whatever?
I think it's with McTaggart.
No, because there was a. I saw an episode of X-Men
I
Evolution.
want to pull it up.
Did he get it?
I know what you're talking about, Rob.
There was an episode of X-Men Evolution where his kid
The
came-
scientist lady, right?
Yeah, his kid was more McTaggart than someone else, I think. It's like
It was both.
something Bane. Like something's Bane.
Bane?
Not Bane.
Kane?
From Batman.
Not from Batman. There's no connection.
What? Kane? Well, Kane Marco is Juggernaut.
It's not. That's
That's
like
his
his
brother.
brother.
That's his
It's
brother.
like half brother.
Yeah.
He has a kid.
They
It's
should
like
have done a better Juggernaut.
They should have done a better Juggernaut. Juggernaut was fucking.
He was in this?
No. Yeah, Charles, you missed it? No, he was in.
Dude, I fished for that and got it.
Yeah, but Juggernaut, they always have to beat him because he's unstoppable. The only way to beat him is with the mind control, and they always have to like get his helmet off somehow.
Okay, yeah, but in movie form, it's fine. It's the first time I would have seen it.
If you picture like
He should be Hulk size.
picture a Civil War style like airport scene as them fighting like Juggernaut and like actually like working together and doing cool stuff and getting that helmet off.
Juggernaut-
Spider-Man will swing around, rips that helmet off. It's like get him. It was-
Juggernaut's like in the Marvel universe, like one of the only guys that can like stand up to the Hulk. That's how strong Juggernaut is.
Yeah, Juggernaut's.
Like fucking.
He got his
strong.
powers from like
Magic.
magic, right?
Yeah, it's a
That
crystal.
always like was weird to me because it's like
He
you
wasn't
got,
a-
yeah, he's not a
It's
mutant.
weird he's not a mutant.
Yeah, because it's like all in a
I
show
was
about
talking about this.
mutants, and then it's like, well, he's not a mutant. He just has the Cytorak crystal or whatever. I'm like, what? Like,
In my head, he's a mutant. I don't care.
but he's like, nah.
I could be the next Marvel writer, the Nick Spencer, and be like, well, it turns out the whole time he was a secret mutant agent.
What a
The crystal's not even a real
It's not a
crystal.
real crystal. It's just you're given a crystal at birth as a mutant.
I thought Storm.
Everybody starts pulling them out.
Since nobody, Storm was really like underused.
That all the horsemen were.
I guess that's what I meant too when I kind of said it was kind of.
No, yeah, I see.
Like I mean, Storm's one of my favorite. Actually, she's actually one of my favorite X-Men. And she's, first of all, like I'm gonna come out and say I don't like the Mohawk
Nobody does.
Nobody likes the Mohawk. I'm sure.
I was
people
okay
like
with it.
Well, yeah,
didn't
yeah,
bother me.
Charles.
But
Everything we say, like, I kind of liked it. Kind of liked it.
I mean,
Never
people are
Like that
within their rights
blue,
like the
blue
Mohawk.
apocalypse dick.
Yeah, it never bothered me.
People are within their rights to like the Mohawk. I don't like it personally, and she didn't do like a lot.
She
For
could've
Storm is like
organized.
really powerful.
She did help kill Apocalypse.
She did, yeah, but it's like that.
But she could have had. No, I understand what you're saying. She could have
The
had-
Apocalypse death was like that cliche, like everybody just like
Shoots
shoots
a
the
beam.
beam at him, like,
Yeah,
oh, I need quick now. It was like the Fantastic Four, that Fan Four stick or however they say it, like when they were fighting Doctor Doom, and it's like we need the stretchy, and you throw the fire, and you throw rocks at him. And,
Which is why putties are good.
no, there's a difference between putties.
I actually like that scene. I'm always
There's
fine
a
with
difference-
like the big blast at the end.
There's a
I
difference
too,
between
yeah.
putties and like the Apocalypse bad guy, who like
Well, usually
they
there's
all
just
have
one
to kill.
superpower. But that's the thing with
That
super powerful bad guys is that's the only way. It can
Yeah,
happen.
he's a big bad.
right.
He's
That's
big
the only
bad.
way
He's a
it
big
can
bad.
happen.
That's why I'm afraid we're gonna have that.
He was a big bad.
And, yeah, I'm pretty sure
They're
you.
all
How
gonna
else
see
do you beat him?
They're
Like,
doing
you
it.
get-
Cap's just throwing
You get
shield
one
over
Iron
and
Man
over.
shot, yeah, like cap shield. Dunk.
Like it's like a video game where you have to like.
That's like I would be super surprised if that's not how Thanos goes out. Like with all the
Yeah.
Avengers doing something.
I was okay with
It
that.
could be how it goes for
Iron Man shooting his beam. And like Giant Man like slowly picking up a rock and throwing it.
What the fuck, Scarlet Witch could-
Hold him. He's gonna hold him.
Yeah, he'll be holding him. He's gonna be holding him. He'll look like a sacrifice.
The
Like
Guardians.
the Hulk, no! They'll say Hulk no for 1 second, but like okay, and they all just start shooting anyways.
I can't wait.
And then a
for
big
that.
cloud of smoke. Thanos gone, and then like a Hulk where you think he's dead, and then he'll just move.
And here's the thing, you're gonna like it.
Because it'll probably be done well.
Will it?
Yeah, Russo.
I mean, how good was the part of the Guardians, and that's basically what they do.
The
Yeah.
Guardians part was, I mean,
What?
ooh, here we go. What do you mean what?
I've never been more satisfied with people holding hands in my life than the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was a similar
bitch.
It was a similar thing though that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I was into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't dislike it.
But like what I'm saying is that I think they'll do well because so far so good with the Russo brothers in knowing not to
Oh
just
God,
make
we
it
made
big.
it back to Marvel.
Let's go back to we're not done with X-Men. We're not done.
I think we're.
Stop rubbing the table.
I'm not rubbing
Everyone's hands off.
You're rubbing the table. You're sitting there rubbing.
it was wax on.
Are we not done with that? Are we not done with X-Men? I hope we're all done with X-Men.
Well, have we gone over all the things? Like
I mean, the biggest thing for me when I got out of that movie, when I was done, I was like, I got up and I looked and I was like, I hope Marvel gets the rights back, so we can just get a fucking real X-Men movie at this point.
Yeah.
I'm done with this universe. I liked X-Men: Days of Future Past and First Class. Like, kind of like wanted more, but this one was like, okay, we got our first one that really wasn't that good. Cut them loose. Just give them back. Let's get them in the fucking Marvel universe. Let's do them exactly how they should be. Let's get like a fucking short Wolverine, a fucking cock in his mouth Cyclops. I mean,
is that the
Wait,
proper way to do it?
that's what we want. I was like, we want a short Wolverine. Did we want
What do
Cyclops
you
on
really
the
want a
cock?
short Wolverine?
oh, we don't want cock. Okay, we don't want the cock. I get it. But
I want.
a short
yeah, you
I
want
want
a
a
short
short
You
Wolverine.
want a short
I kind of
Wolverine?
want a squatty Wolverine.
Bub.
I want a little bit.
You want that?
I want a
He
less
is supposed to be
GQ.
short though.
I want a less GQ Wolverine. I do.
Like a
I want-
5'9" Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like a Rousey,
Squatty
like a
Wolverine.
Rousey Wolverine.
He's always the little like the Napoleon complex, not like you Napoleon, but like the Napoleon complex. Like
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like he's a
my
Wolverine. That's the idea. He's a Wolverine. Wolverines are small and superficial.
wow,
Okay.
that's not. You can't even.
I don't.
This is the guy whose name is a Scorpion. He's not some small Scorpion guy.
Have you seen Scorpion? He's got a fucking scorpion fucking tail.
Right, but he's not a small tiny Scorpion.
Yeah, but I think that's what Wolverine's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like
Alright.
very vicious in a small
He's supposed
package.
to be feral.
I want Wolverine to take just like a break.
Well, he's not taking a break.
I know he's not, but I want him to take a break.
You want Cyclops in the
I want
front.
Cyclops
That's
in
what
the
you
front.
really
I
want.
mean, you want him out there with the dick.
But
I don't want him with a dick.
if Marvel had the X-Men, Cyclops would be in the forefront.
I don't know.
I guarantee.
He would be the leader, but I mean, Wolverine would probably still get more.
overshadow him for sure.
Yeah, he would overshadow him, but they would still have cool parts because.
To what Tom's saying, Wolverine would probably still somewhat overshadow the team because he always kind of does. But you would get the truest version of Cyclops. Like, he would be leading the team for sure. Wolverine would probably have his own, end up still having some type of side thing that is more his thing. But I guarantee Cyclops will be very true to his character and will be leading the X-Men, saying the things you want to say. Have that square jaw. Okay.
It's not a square jaw really. It's just a jaw.
That guy was definitely a fucking fish.
In the first Avengers movie, Iron Man was way more popular than Captain America at that point before Winter Soldier. Like viewer
I'd say
wise,
he still is.
Still is great, but like so that would be like the Wolverine to the Cyclops. They still had Captain America like leading the team, and he's like, "Call it, Cap," and he's doing the thing and saying all that stuff. Even though it's like Iron Man's like more like the star of it, you still get like true to his character moments.
I mean,
think it was
even in the '90s cartoon, which was fantastic, right? We can all agree that was a great cartoon.
Amazing.
It was very at that time. It was like what's happening in the comics is like happening in the show. I mean, Wolverine was still like more featured, but that's like the best interpretation of Cyclops you ever had, right?
Yeah, no, he is. It's
He's not, but here's the thing. Yes, he is the leader of the X-Men, but he's never been the star of the X-Men. So you can say whatever you want, but like, yes, he's the leader of the X-Men, but the leader's not always the star of the show.
He's not the star, but he's one of, like Tom said, he's like a Cap. Like Iron Man may be like the star, but like Cap.
Yeah, so we're agreeing.
We agree, yeah. We do agree. I'm not saying that he's the main character. I know Wolverine.
I feel like you want him out like the movie Cyclops and the X-Men.
Well, he does want that. That's what he wants.
I want that.
I want it to be War Machine and the Avengers.
Yeah, you're. Unfortunately, you're way far off.
My point is, if Marvel got the rights back to it, there would probably be some overshadowing with Wolverine because he's just a more popular character. But you would still get a good version because in every like movie I used to fucking think Ant-Man was stupid, but we're getting good versions of like Ant-Man. We're getting like everybody in Civil War had their moment.
You're right. Cool. They haven't gotten like there hasn't been a character they've cast where it's like that's not him.
Yeah, it's all been pretty.
I mean, you're right. They would
Mandarin.
Mandarin, yeah. I mean, they got Whiplash like
which actually
spot on.
Well, I thought the Mandarin was really cool until they ruined it.
Yeah, they
that was always the saddest part
really
about the Mandarin.
Cool.
Yeah. That was the saddest part. That was actually the saddest part of the Mandarin. I was like, in the movie, and I was kind of into him.
I thought they were going to
more than I thought I would
twist us. Like, oh, this is just a body double.
That's what I was
waiting
for.
Yeah,
that's all I was waiting for.
It's a projection with one of his magic rings that they were so keen on showing.
Yeah.
What?
Something went wrong there because they kept mentioning the 10 rings even since Iron Man 1, and they dropped
the ball.
All right, so.
Oh wait, one more thing before we get off X-Men. One more thing. That post-credit scene. Anybody stay to watch that, or you guys just?
Oh, stupid.
Yeah, we watched
I don't know, but you guys know
the Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
What?
I just don't know.
Daniel Essex.
That's who.
Daniel Essex.
Oh.
I just don't know how they're. I mean, they didn't. We didn't see a body.
The problem is, I like Mr. Sinister. He's actually one of my favorite X-Men villains.
Me too.
But I'm like so done on this universe.
Done on this artist's interpretation.
Yes. That I was like, I don't care.
Here's the problem too. Like Mr. Sinister serves Apocalypse, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he gets his powers from Apocalypse. He gets his powers in like the 19th century.
His whole like
that's true. Huh?
Yeah. The whole like obsession with Scott Summers and Jean Grey is like he thinks that their kid would be powerful enough to beat Apocalypse. That's like his whole thing. So if there's no Apocalypse, like
but it's not like any of the characters in this version is really following their true.
A different artist interpretation.
He could just be trying to make like the perfect mutant now or something. You know, he could still be messing with mutants. Yeah, there's always a reason to mess with them.
Similar.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
All right.
And to go back real quick to say I was wrong. You're right. McTaggart and Xavier's child is not Legion. Legion is Xavier and somebody else. McTaggart's kid does become a different problem.
What was his name though? Because it was like
it's like Prometheus.
Oh, well, that's your first problem.
Proteus.
Proteus.
And he is an issue. He's kind of similar to the Scarlet Witch, where he does reality bending.
Wait, isn't Jean Grey and Scott's Kid Cable?
That's correct.
Kinda.
Sort of.
It's not. It's the clone.
Yeah.
What's the clone's name?
Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, Madeline Pryor.
It's like Jan.
I thought you were gonna say Madeline Price. It's like, where do I know that?
That's right.
That's like where the
It's a big arc in the comics, though.
That's where there's a lot of iffy stuff in the comics where it's like you had a whole clone and then that's the.
It's a big arc.
It's a long story.
There's a lot of stuff.
All right, we're getting off comic books for a little while here.
One thing I will say.
It's one thing.
Everybody's got to do one thing.
We all get one.
Sorry, there was a conversation.
One thing
but it's like,
God
gotta
forbid
move
we
on,
talk.
gotta move on.
Contrary to my normal, BS, I actually wanted to see more of Cyclops and Jean Grey's relationship. I feel like they didn't even really get into that. And I kind of wanted to see more of it.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Because that's like a big part of Cyclops' character.
Yeah, I just don't care for their. I don't really care for them.
Okay.
Jean Grey never really did.
I don't care about Agent 13.
I didn't mention I wanted to see more of them doing something.
Do you?
No, not really. I don't really care.
All right,
Obviously, he wants to see Bucky Cap.
Yeah.
Does he?
I just want to see more Cap.
I think he wants.
Whatever it takes to get more Cap, I'll do it.
I think he wants Peggy Carter Cap.
I would love Peggy Carter Cap. I would love.
But Peggy Carter's dead.
She's
dead.
gone.
Dead, but
And she's hooking up with. If you watch Agent Carter, she's hooking up with other dudes.
She's got
obviously she was with other dudes. She had to have a life. Like when he goes to the old version, she had like a picture of like she had kids and
I
stuff.
know.
She's a husband.
Sorry, just because Cap's gone, don't mean she's not getting dick. She's going for dick.
It just seemed kind of like I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it happened, but it's like it just seemed like wrong.
Good that she got some dick.
Dick in mouth.
You guys want to...
But nothing compares to Cap's cock. We've got a lot of dead air here, might as well.
Of a human specimen, you don't get better than that.
So Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
It'd
Thank
be
God.
funny if like everything like it was like steroids, like you just had like a team like this. just peak specimen. It's just like
Takes the towel off.
The doctor's like, well, he didn't need that to fight Nazis. So
you don't care about Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Well, Cap doesn't feel fatigue, so he can just keep going and going. He does not get
he can
fatigued.
do this all day.
Yeah, he can do it all day.
All right, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
please.
Oh, please.
Well, Cap doesn't feel fatigued.
Wait, what about Billy Zane? Right, he's got it every episode.
His
Billy
cameo
Zane.
was pretty good.
Hey, he was in Zoolander 2. I just saw Zoolander 2. He was a big thing in it.
How was Zoolander 2? How was that?
I mean, it was just like Zoolander 1.
No.
So
Like,
bad.
did you like it? And then like it was bad, but it was funny.
Zoolander one guy?
I saw Zoolander. I saw Zoolander 1 in theaters. Thought it was super shitty.
No, I thought it was shitty too.
For some reason saw it on TV. I liked it one day.
Well, I liked it, and I like movies, so fuck me. But it was a kind of original. It's like an original story. It's very funny. It's goofy. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it moves a interesting story. And just when you think like, God, they can't get any dumber. The files are in the computer. That fucking line. That scene still cracks me up.
When they're like monkeys and they're like hitting it.
I don't know. The files are in the computer. And you think he gets it, that he has to and he smashes the fucking computer down and like completely ruins any chance of them clearing Zoolander's name. It's like the files are gone now.
How was Billy Zane?
It was great. He was actually in it. He like goes up because Ben Stiller's like in hiding because he
He's in
made I
Zoolander
forget what the
1,
fucking
in case
name
you
of the
remember.
school was, but like he made it. You remember they made like a paper mache model of like the school he wanted to open.
School France.
Yeah, and then he ended up saying like, "Oh, let's have like the real school be made with the same materials as the paper mache." So they made it, and it fell and like killed everybody at the school, including his wife. So and like his kid gets taken away from him because he's like too stupid to raise it.
Bummer.
It's funny.
He's like, yeah, she
What's
died.
it
It's
funny?
It's
Where's the funny part?
She dies.
Because it reminds me of when we saw Planet of the Apes. And there was a scene where this bus is flipping and like all these apes are dying and like Charles is like losing his shit. And I look over and I see like Rossi's just like looking at him just like in complete horror. It's like because he's like what the fuck? You're like laughing at this? And Charles is just like he's having the time of his life. It's like one of my favorite like movie experiences.
It was
It's just so funny. Just the look on Rossi's face.
That's so hard.
He was just like,
"You're sick, man. You're fucking sick."
Sick puppy.
Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean, Billy. Okay, so then Ben Stiller's like in hiding, and Billy Zane comes to get him out of hiding, and he helps him, and then he helps the other guy, fucking Owen Wilson, too. And then like, there's this guy wearing a shirt that has Ben Stiller's face on it and says, "I'll call Billy Zane," because he keeps calling Billy Zane.
Here's a message to Billy Zane. Why are you haunting us? Because you're showing up everywhere. You are our Phantom. You're everywhere. You show up like I could just like look at a newspaper article and it's like Billy Zane. Like it's ridiculous where he's showing up. So
It's true. I did go to the movies when I went to the movies the other day. They had a commercial for some like TNT show, and Billy Zane was in it. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
It won't even be a shitty article. It'll be Billy Zane's in the newspaper for saving a burning orphanage, though. So it's like, God damn, Billy.
yeah, but
It's a
Billy
real
Zane,
life superhero.
Billy Zane is in
He's
the
the guy.
hearts and minds of everyone in the world, apparently, and he keeps showing up. We must have like a piece of the skull, like blew up. Like each one of us got one or something.
He's a good guy. Oh, it's perfect death.
What show did we want to talk about?
Game of Thrones.
Oh no, we're off Game of Thrones. No.
And that's a wrap.
Nope. We're talking about Twin Peaks now.
Also good?
Twin Peaks. Did you watch it yet,
No, I don't watch shit.
Tom?
I don't even watch the
I'm
video
not
you
gonna
guys
waste
post
my life on
of the
this.
No,
fucking
you're gonna
theme song.
wait. We're the Twin Peaks crew now.
We're not. This is you two. I almost want to change the title. Every time I see that, I'm like, we're the Twin Peaks crew.
Can't even find the group because I don't want to click on
Here's
that.
the
Click on that.
Here's
I'll
the
go
thing.
back to like
Here's-
the other one with Balti and Merritt.
Here's the thing you're not understanding. We're the Twin Peaks crew now.
Why? Under whose authority?
Zemo was out. He lost communication.
Zemo lost
When
control.
he like texted us, I was like, who's that? Oh, it's Charles. I was like, what the fuck?
Twin
Hold
Peaks.
on.
You guys gotta watch Twin Peaks. It's coming back. It's gonna be on.
It's gonna be. Is it coming back or is it
No,
gonna
so
be
you gotta
a
watch
movie?
the. You
Is
gotta.
this supposed to be a continuation?
Yeah.
It's a,
They're getting the same.
How many
How long?
seasons?
How many year gap was it between? There's 2 seasons, right?
2 seasons and
And then there's a gap.
The
No.
2 seasons were like immediate, and then it just
There's
got
a movie.
It got canceled.
It got canceled, right?
And then there's a movie.
Then there's a movie.
And then
Cliff notes.
the movie was in 1991. So 2017, we're getting.
That's what I'm saying. That is a
Yeah.
26-year gap.
Fucking awesome.
That is crazy.
Twin Peaks, baby. Twin
Die.
Peaks don't die.
You sold me. I'm in.
Twin Peaks died.
Twin
I'm
Peaks
gonna
don't
watch
die.
it.
Twin Peaks don't
You
die.
do need to watch it just because, like,
Didn't even make it.
It's iconic though.
it's a
Like
it's
I
a
don't
cult-
want you to
it's a cult
spoil it for me,
I
but I
don't-
still want you guys to like. But at the same time, I want to ask you guys for details
don't
to like
One
hook
full
me.
review.
There's not even really
Yeah.
anything to spoil. That's the weird thing.
There's nothing really.
Okay,
seems
so
Nothing happens.
No. Well, you can.
I was like, oh, there's nothing to spoil. There's nothing to watch.
It's a weird show, but it's captivating. For some reason, it keeps sucking you in.
hasn't so far for me.
It's
You haven't watched it.
it's a
he
mystery.
has it on.
I'm circling that drain. I'm about to. I'm like,
It's a mystery show.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out.
Who killed Laura Palmer?
Right. There's the basic premise is
Who
who killed this
killed
girl,
Laura
Laura Palmer, and as the show progresses, you get more and more info, and like maybe Laura Palmer isn't what
Quite
people
what you thought she was.
Yeah, she's
And it's also about this weird small
So-
town.
and the town is
Does it
all.
matter what kind of person she was?
It's like, oh, she was kind of a whore.
Well, it
Who
doesn't
killed-
matter
who
because
killed
that's
her?
the point.
It's a small town though, and like
Right, that everyone knew her, right? And everyone has their own. This is the only part that like I kind of don't like. Everyone has their own like agenda, and it's like you don't care about like
I do.
you care about the sawmill agenda.
No.
Okay.
No, but I like Big Ed.
All right. So
Big Ed, like I mean,
neither of you have finished the 2 seasons that are out,
No.
No, we've only finished
and
the first season.
neither of you have watched the movie yet.
No.
Did they ever from where?
Yeah, baby. Big Ed.
That's all it took.
That's all it
Yeah, we're
took.
not done.
Listen,
They don't even have. They're not even hooked in, and they're hooked in.
Did they ever find out who killed Laura Palmer?
I don't know.
They don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, well if they didn't, and then the show was dead for 17 years or whatever, fuck the new
I think
series.
they do. I think
did a
they
movie.
do. I think
26
they
years,
saw that
not
one.
just 17.
They're gonna be like all the old actors are gonna be like, who
They
killed
did
that
a-
bitch?
They don't
did
even
a
know.
movie where they're supposedly like.
I think you sort of didn't you at the end of the first season. You sort of do know who killed Laura Palmer. Sort of.
Maybe.
It's like
No.
you find out more though, a lot more
No, you don't know.
about that weird French guy. Remember the weird like French Canadian guy though?
Oh my
Fat guy.
God.
Yeah, but he didn't like.
I was with Laura Palmer.
He didn't kill her though.
Did he not kill her?
I don't know. Don't look at me.
Here's
don't
the
know
thing,
who
Charles.
I don't know who killed who.
We don't
You're
know
watching
who
it.
killed Laura Palmer
Why?
yet, but we're
Charles,
not,
just watch it.
I'm at season 2. The only problem is the thing that stopped me is I marathoned the show, and then when it got to season 2, what they do is the first episode and the first episode of season 2 are like movie length. They're like an hour and a half. So it's like when I first watched the movie.
I watched 2 hours of Street Outlaws. I'm good.
Well, when I first well, here's the thing.
Fucking crazy.
I wanted to get caught up right quickly.
Yeah.
And when you finish the first movie and it's like an hour and a half, it's like episode 1, and you're like, oh, like I made no progress in this
Take a
series. Like,
The main guy is like cool though. Like I like the main investigator cop.
The bad guy from the Flintstones?
Yeah,
he's really good.
he's really good in it.
He's like the reason to watch this.
He is for sure. If he wasn't in
He's
it,
the reason. It kind of sounds like there's no reason to watch the show.
You know, that's kind of.
Agent Cooper.
Is it?
Him and the
He's
other
in Agents
cop.
of Shield. He was good. He
Oh.
was good in Agents of Shield.
He was good in it. I actually saw that part. He was good in
Oh
it.
man, why did you? He's an He's in Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You wanna
that
watch
like lowers the coolness.
Oh, I thought that helped Agents of Shield. I was like,
No.
yes, he's gonna. Yeah, someone's gonna
There's
watch
no,
this
there's
show.
There's no saving.
Does it help the
Agents of Shield.
How's that
Flintstones
lower the
movie?
coolness?
Or does it make the Flintstone movie better?
I don't even care about the Flintstones movie. Like, who cares?
I liked that movie. Halle Berry was hot in that.
She was hot then.
That was like her peak.
That is a peak Holly Berry.
Yeah. That's like Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
Ah, damn, nobody. Cameron Diaz has never
the
been as
Cameron
hot as
Diaz
she
you
was in The Mask.
Yeah, The
What
Mask.
Cameron Diaz do you like? The Mask Cameron Diaz is fucking hot.
Yeah.
I like the Charlie's Angels Cameron.
No,
No, she still went down.
No,
She
she's
went
all
down.
she got too skinny.
She was like, what, 20 in
She's
the
super
Mask? That's
annoying
probably
and-
why.
She looks.
I thought Lucy Liu was the hot one in those movies. So like,
She was.
I-
She was.
Oh, I mean,
She
yeah, no.
was.
So I didn't even
totally.
pay attention to the other two.
She was.
I was like, I just watched Lucy Liu every time they were in a scene.
But they had separate scenes.
Yeah, I didn't watch those.
She was kind of hot in that one movie with Christina Applegate.
The one where they
The one
like,
where she's the sister.
There's
are
like,
they
they're,
sisters?
they're trying to like stop a guy from getting married or something.
It's a stupid movie. I've seen it.
I don't know. There's that like dick
I
song
swear-
I'm always into when they're singing it.
The Dick song.
Yeah, they're always just like, "Ah, you're too big to fit," and all that shit. You know?
I just remember there's a part where like she has like
No.
old chicken in the back of her car.
Is this porn?
No, there's literally like and one of their friends like has like a tongue ring or something, and the guy has like a dick ring, and she's like went down on him and like gets like locked in, so she's like,
Oh,
stuck.
I remember that. I
And she's
remember
like, and they
that.
all have to come over and like, how do we get you out of the situation? She's like,
How do they get her out?
I don't remember.
I do remember that part.
Which
though.
one is
I remember
that?
she's like,
I do remember that part. How does that get locked in?
Boy, you've sold me on
The
this.
sweetest thing.
yes, sweetest thing.
Yeah.
Stupid.
2000.
movie.
The sweetest thing.
But-
I heard of that.
Twin
We're gonna
Peaks,
have to have
Charles.
reviewing. It's the sweetest thing.
Charles, you're watching Twin Peaks. I don't know what's called. I don't. Well, I
it
mean,
was hot in that.
here's the thing. Again, here's the thing. Twin Peaks. We're the Twin Peaks crew.
You keep saying that like it's a thing.
It's a show. It's an
You don't want to not be part of the Twin Peaks crew.
don't
And
want
also, if you watch the show more, you can be part of the book, the bookcase boys.
The Bookhouse Boys.
Bookhouse Boys.
You've already ruined it.
I'm out.
I had to watch a couple episodes in one of my film classes, and it's just one of those. It's too like for me. I know this is gonna sound stupid, but like, it's too slow paced for me to be involved in it for how long it is. The fucking second season's like what, 24 episodes?
Oh,
22. Like, and it's during a time when like, you know, it wasn't justifiable to be that long.
it wasn't just.
Like it's almost hard. Like I love like the Game of Thrones format, which we never talked about. Where it's like 10 episodes, just like boom, 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 boom. If there's even like a filler episode in between that, it's just like fuck. I can't stand filler episodes. Like Lost and like there's when they had like 22 episodes, they would just like in the middle they would have like filler episodes, and that's like a weird mystery show. And it's just like, oh, this one's based on the characters. It's like fucking who cares?
The problem, Lost was really bad because when that first came out, you would have like 3 weeks
off the table with the vibrating phones.
Okay. They probably didn't even hear that, but it's like with Lost, they would do like 3 weeks, and then you'd have like 2 weeks off, then 1 episode, then 3 weeks off.
And it'd be a filler, and after a month.
You read about Twin Peaks?
I was reading about the sweetest thing again. I was listening.
To fit in here.
Twin Peaks, though, it's one of those shows that like you have to be you can't just have like ADD. So like if you
right, that's what I'm saying, and I'm not down to not. I can't watch it on my own. Right. It's kind of like the same thing with Game of Thrones, where I couldn't get through it because there's a lot of slow scenes and a lot of background stuff that I just didn't know about. I didn't know the lore. I needed to watch it with both you guys so I could stop and be like, okay, who's that? Is that, oh, that's the cousin of him, and he's that, and able to get me into it. Because otherwise, it's just a bunch of people talking. On the hand of the king says his, yada yada yada. I'm like, what the fuck's a hand of the king? What the fuck are you even talking about? The Targaryens did what? The Mad King who? But once you know the backstory of all of it and you understand everything that's going on, then it's awesome. When I'm just sitting there just watching kind of like a slow I can't.
Whatever. All I care about is in this conversation, we got one more Twin Peaks. Use over in Napoleon.
Do we got
right?
Oh yeah, give me a high five on Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks, baby. Twin Peaks crew. Yeah.
Twin Peaks.
Good high five.
You guys are the ones missing out.
I don't know why Charles is even fighting. Free time Palooza over there.
An hour and a half of an episode. I'm just gonna sit there just like.
We don't want. You know what? The Twin Peaks crew doesn't want you. Okay. We're just gonna make you the Laura. You're the Laura Palmer of the group.
I kind of like it because it gives me like a kind of an X-Files vibe, kind of.
Yeah.
Doesn't that show suck?
No.
No. What?
Doesn't it?
X-Files.
Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, they're good.
What if you just put the Civil War on in mute in like the lower corner?
I could get through it though.
You get through it, but you wouldn't retain any of it. You'd be like, yeah, fuck
You come in and be like, hey, we stupid. He don't care what Big Ed was doing.
The Bookhouse Boys.
Bookhouse Boys.
You gotta retain that.
That's what I'm gonna have in my life.
You gotta know what all the agendas. You gotta know all the agendas.
You gotta know the agendas.
Because you're too into the agendas. You're overplaying the agendas.
All right.
I don't know. I like it. I like the idea of this. I like having another thing. I like when Rossi and Rob explain things to me. It actually makes Game of Thrones so much better when they explain. I'm so excited for the Blackfish tonight. I'm fucking pumped because they've explained him and made him bigger.
Problem.
When the show abandoned him 3 seasons ago, I forgot about him.
Yeah, Blackfish was
super pumped.
Yeah, he's like one of the better
he's got
fighters.
like a fishy, scaly armor.
Super concerned for Jamie. I'm like, oh god,
Yeah,
Jamie, you should not be meeting the Blackfish.
The Blackfish could kill Jamie for sure.
Without
his hand?
I don't think. I don't.
He's
think
not gonna do it,
yeah.
but yeah, he could.
But he could.
And
when
here's
you
my
can
problem.
in Game
What's
of
your
Thrones.
You, A, is one of them. B, I'm gonna marathon this fucking Twin Peaks thing, and by the end of it, I'm gonna want to talk about it, and you're gonna be off in fucking like I'm gonna respond once a day thing with barely. I'm not gonna really have anyone to chat about it with because no one's gonna fucking respond.
I'll respond.
I'll respond. Naps will
Don't
respond.
just try to get my goat though.
How will I try to get your
That's
goat?
what you try to do. You just try to get my goat. You try to you want to be a villain.
None of us Twin Peaks.
No, but I'll say something, and then it'll just be it'll be too far past everyone already being involved in it. And it's just gonna be good. I'm glad I wasted that.
Besides Game of Thrones, I think we need another show.
Yeah, Twin Peaks is the other show.
So we can't even agree. We all watch a lot of shows, but we don't want.
None of us
watch the same shows.
I heard Wayward Pines has season 2 came out. It's on episode 2 now.
I watched
Wayward
it.
Pines
I watched
is
it.
good.
Is it
Wayward
good?
Pines
Yeah,
is great.
Did you watch it?
I remember way back
I
in the
remember
day.
it sounds
I
like
watched
Wayward
it.
Pines.
I'm the only one here that actually watched it. I'm into season 2. I've seen episode 2. I'm caught up on Wayward Pines. So
I'm not caught up.
You can do whatever you want right now,
You're
Tom.
not caught up.
I'm not in season
You're not
2.
caught up on the show.
I'm not in season 2.
You watch
Wayward Pines
No.
like a.
I was like, there's one more other thing.
Really?
Yes.
I did see.
good.
I did see.
Yeah, Wayward Pines is good.
I saw a runner, a picture with a claw hand, and I almost clicked on it, but I'm like, oh, you know what? I have to give Sam a shot. I have to let Sam catch the first episode to see if it's going to be a thing.
So
because
where are
it
you?
sounds like it's going to be a thing for both of us.
Season 2.
Did you finish season 1?
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix?
Oh, okay.
It's either on Netflix or Amazon or I've seen it somewhere on
I'd
one
be
of my
down to
streaming
watch.
shows.
If it's got like weird, like
it's
X-Filey.
yeah, especially that's second season too, but especially the first season, it's like kind of Twin Peaksy in the beginning.
Might have been Hulu. I've got a lot of fucking streaming.
It's got it's the Twin Peaks town.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the Twin Peaks town.
It's the dual
It's Wayward Twins. I mean Pines.
It's the Wayward Twins.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'd be down to watch
It's good.
It's good.
You watched
We
it?
could be
Did
the
you watch?
Wayward
Did you finish
Pines
the first
crew.
season?
Yeah, finish it. I didn't even know.
Why is nobody watching season 2?
Because I didn't know about it. My friend just told me like
Really,
just now, and I was like, oh,
it kind of came. Honestly, it came out of nowhere. The only reason it
one of
was
those things that you don't have commercials for.
my DirecTV has
It just records.
it recorded. And I was like, wait, where were
yeah, I would have never known unless.
I got Jason Patrick as the guy in the second season too.
Alright.
It's like,
Yeah, right.
It's only 2 episodes in. I can catch up to that.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't believe you didn't use that in the beginning.
Well, you need a
It's
marathon.
got Jason
You
fucking
need,
Patrick.
you need a marathon season 1 so we can just talk about Wayward Pines. And
I
so do
need a
you.
marathon,
So we can watch.
Yeah.
It's
I want
It's a
like
good
a
show.
22 episode.
Wayward Pines is
No,
the thing
it's
now.
10. It's
Just
short.
10.
It's quick. It like gets to the point. Good pacing. Leaves you wanting more.
I'm in.
First generation.
Why can't we be the Wayward's Pine crew?
Well, we can. We just need these guys to catch up.
All right.
Well, if they're gonna do Wayward Pines, you gotta do Twin Peaks.
That's
a
what
lot
pays.
happened.
Why can't we be the Legends of Tomorrow crew?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause that stuff sucks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, lot's happened in 2 episodes.
Has
Oh,
the
that
Atom
Flash
gone into
finale.
a bloodstream yet? That's all he does.
Huh?
The Atom, all he does is go into bloodstreams. So it'd just be called like the blood.
He did go into
It's
a
so
blood.
Did he? That's
Yeah, he
all
did.
he does.
Hot girl,
He had
right?
to save Hot Girl.
And the worst actress in the world.
Every time you
I've
say that,
ever
you're saying hot girl.
Maybe she didn't smile.
Is she not hot?
seen. Yeah.
She's got a weird Thanksgiving corn mouth. It's like, this one's yellow, this one's white, this
Oh,
one's
she's
kind of
got-
popped out a
she's got
little
bad
bit.
teeth, huh?
Yeah.
She's a bad actor too.
Even if a hot girl was a hot girl, that costume is just so not attractive.
I thought you said hot girl right there. Like,
Luckily, it doesn't show up too often.
Hot girl was a
And you
hot
know what
girl.
else I saw is Firestorm,
Uh-huh.
the black guy, is he's actually British.
Really?
He's in that movie Attack the Block, which is the first movie for John Boyega. Finn.
Cool.
Yeah, no,
Was
So
was it good?
yeah, actually it
I don't know why
is.
I'm
It's
asking.
really good. And it's good and it's short. It's good. It's a good sci-fi movie. You might get me in. I think you'd be into it. I need to check it out. It's good. I won't give any more details because I can't. I give horrible synopsis. I just ruin movies.
Just tell the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so bad.
It's
That's like when anyone does like a non-spoiler review, they always spoil it. They'll be like,
Yeah.
there's a twist in the middle. Well, you'll see what happens, but like when the airport happens, like Ant-Man just does something cool. Let's just say it. But but I'm not going to
Let's
tell you
just
what
say
it is.
Let's just say it's big.
He grows into giant man. Let's just say
I'm not gonna think.
they totally do that. I've watched, like, after seeing the movie, you watch the non-spoiler review, they totally go, like,
It's fucking dumb, yeah.
in the first act, there's a huge scene. I'm just going to say airport.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we know.
Spider-Man is so good. His interaction with Tony Stark is great. You'll see it when it happens. You'll know it's a great
It's
interaction.
like such a spoiler.
That finale will blow your arm off.
Which, by the way, it bums me out that he doesn't have that metal arm. I love the Winter Soldier. Like even when I'm like rewatching
Bring it back.
What? Let's
Bring it
stop!
back.
Why is
Let's
that fucking
just
out? He
stop!
can get another metal arm. He's fucking got Iron Man. He's got fucking Black Panther. There's Hank Pym. There's so many people out there that could give him another arm. It doesn't even.
Yeah,
It's
we're doing-
glad that
we're
the
doing
Russian
Cap
arm is
3.
gone.
I'm out.
We're glad that the arm is
the reason I
gone.
don't like
Let
it.
me know when you guys are done with Cap
For a
3.
whole space.
Let me know when you're done with Cap 3.
All right, we're done with it.
Yeah, get back here. You can't.
Get back
It's
here.
I'm
No,
great.
he's-
I'm glad you're selling it.
No.
You sat on the couch.
No,
It's all
he's-
wonderful.
He's basically doing the dishes.
I
Right
mean,
now.
Charles left. That's fine. We don't need him. Fuck him.
The biggest problem is when I sat down.
But you're running the list.
Way too
you got
comfortable.
fucking knockout. All of a sudden now you're leaving. What the fuck?
This is why we need editing.
Are we doing waffles?
Alright, hey, no, we're not doing
No.
So
this.
I fucking got to make for nothing.
No, you didn't. You fucking. You know you need to use them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Alright, so let's end this motherfucking podcast here with Game of Thrones. That's be our last topic. We're reaching 2 hours.
You never got into Tron.
We'll do Tron next time.
Because I like Tron.
It was good, man. Have you watched it recently? Whew, that was fucking nuts. I forgot.
Doing Tron.
Oh, yeah, no. Game of Thrones. Game of
please.
Thrones.
We can do Tron.
Game of Thrones, I'm like burnt out. We gotta use the rest of it on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What are we gonna talk about Tron about? That is fucking cool.
Yeah,
All right,
Yeah.
Tron's fucking cool.
I was going to say,
Well,
yeah.
let's start a podcast
cool.
next time with Tron because like we always do better at the beginning.
All right.
I like that. I like that.
Game of Thrones.
We start the podcast with our retro movie review,
Yeah.
and then we did Predators,
And then we ended with
and we
Game
ended
of
with
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we had to always have it Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Alright.
So Game of Thrones.
Hey, nobody, because nobody ever comes this far.
You could say that in the first one.
That's why we got
First-
65 views.
This is the first review.
Very
I think like I'm the only one who actually goes the whole podcast.
No, I do because
I do.
I
You
usually
do?
listen to it like on my drive home.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that on
So
the
it's like
drive.
a 2 hours. Of
Oh, righty, Game of Thrones.
tape. I'm gonna label this one the Game of Thrones podcast.
I thought we already had Game of Thrones.
Well, I know. It's gonna
God.
confuse the listeners.
I see what you did there.
Tonight's episode looks good.
It looks great.
Tonight's episode was
So
good.
what
Last
was-
episode was infuriating.
What was tonight's like? What's gonna happen tonight?
Blackfish.
Blackfish, but what else?
Yeah, Jamie's teleporting.
Jamie's gonna tell
Sir
her.
Davos has a scene.
We don't know much about it, but he's in that.
He's in that
motherfucker.
scene.
Sir Davos has a scene.
The Greyjoys are going to.
Don't care about choice.
I don't give a shit about them.
That's such a waste
Old
of the
salty dick.
We're probably gonna get some lesbian action with Yara.
Yeah, but Yara's ugly, so I don't.
So this episode sounds horrible so far. I mean, how is it
Well,
good?
like,
Blackfish
like,
is why it's gonna be
The
good.
Blackfish and Braun.
Oh, yeah,
Braun.
Braun.
That's
yeah.
yes. That's what
Braun's coming back.
Braun, don't even Charles. Don't even say who's
We're getting more of the wall.
Who's Braun?
He's my favorite character. He's the
No,
sellsword
he's a lot
that
of
always
people's favorite characters.
that he was always hanging out with Tyrion. He
And
was
now
the
he's like
sellsword.
Jamie's BFF.
He went with Jamie to Dorne, and he got the poison and the Dorne chick's tits.
He taught him how to fight again.
Taught him how to fight
with the
again.
other
Yeah.
hand.
Coolest motherfucker in the whole. And now he's
All
gonna
in.
probably get killed.
He's not gonna get killed.
I hope not. I feel like they didn't finish any of those lessons. It was just like one lesson, and
I mean, I know
like,
that no one
use the
gives a
damn
shit.
weak hand, man.
Yeah.
Stop being a bitch about it.
What time is it?
Which I think it's great. I think it's a good thing to use. Like, fuck it, if you hit someone with your copper hand,
I know that no one gives a shit, but what happened with Dorne? Wasn't it kind of
Yeah, you're right.
They
It was
got-
left in shambles.
they killed those two guys and they're like, we're in power now, and then there's never been another Dorne
I think
scene.
I think they're skipping over the part where they bring the Dornish people to terms with the ladies now being in charge. We've killed off that royal family. I'm in charge now. Get with it. Get stabbed in the face.
Well, they're coming.
Which
Well,
are-
aren't they trying to? Aren't they gonna try to meet up with Daenerys?
Are they?
Daenerys?
Is that something they're
That's
into?
what they're doing in the book.
They didn't mention anything about that in the show.
But they got rejected in the books.
Did they really?
Yeah. Well,
What? Why?
in the books,
Oh, but is it the guy?
no. It's,
Quentin.
there's a guy. Okay, so Doran, who's the guy who got killed,
Mm-hmm.
the king. He has other kids. He has Quentin and he has Ariane. It's not Tarantino. So Quentin's his mission is he's going to go try to marry Dany, so it's to form a
bad
Martell Targaryen. It is a bad plan. So he goes and he goes, hey, want to marry me, Dany? She goes, no. And then he gets she does her whole So he's like, yeah, fucking.
Well, she already married that other dude.
Well, she married him later.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, who'd you marry in the book?
No, the same guy.
Star.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot that guy.
yeah.
I forgot he was a thing.
He's still alive in the books, but yeah. So
Quentin's not.
Quentin, yeah. So Quentin gets all dejected, and then Dany does her whole like, I'm gonna go fly away on Drogon thing, and Quentin goes, I'm gonna steal the dragons, and it doesn't work out for him
Why does he think that he can like?
because he's an idiot.
Doesn't he like think he can like? He's like, I don't think fire will burn me or something.
No, he thinks like
He just thinks that they're mounts.
I think
and
he
can
thinks
take them
that
a
like
horse.
I don't. This might be completely wrong, but I think in his mind, if he earns the trust of her dragons, maybe he'll win Dany's heart, kind of thing. but it could be just me remembering incorrectly.
Could be the Rob cut.
Could be the Rob cut.
I just remember him getting burned.
He gets roasted.
I just remember he gets roasted.
He gets wrecked. So so he's out, and then Ariane's doing some stupid thing that everyone, all the book readers, like Dorn. I hate Dorn because it's just like a circular storyline that's going nowhere, and like people are just like,
I was into Dorn for some reason.
right, you're totally into Dorn. It's a stupid. Literally, all that happens.
I guess it's stupid. I don't know.
In my opinion, it's stupid. But people are like all upset that the show's doing Dorn such an injustice when Dorn barely gets any time.
Well, it's an injustice for Doran.
For Dorn, yeah, but
He actually has a plan like the whole fucking time, and he like is actually gonna go like wants to go after King's Landing and all this shit. And in the fucking show, he's just like no, and then he's just stabbed in the neck and fucking dies bloody.
I have no problem with the Dorn stuff in this show. I really don't. It's not the same as the book.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't read the book, so why would you have a problem?
I think it's like the same idea. Like they're not like in the forefront like they are in the show. They're kind of just in the background. So I'm sure they're gonna do whatever they were gonna do. It's just they're not important right now. What's important?
But doesn't it feel? I don't know. We all agree who gives a shit about the Greyjoy agenda, right? But for some reason, we all are always like a little bit more into the Dorne agenda.
Yeah.
Well,
even Westeros doesn't give a shit about the Greyjoy. They even say like, no one gives a shit.
I'm kind of hoping that they do the fucking Dorne guy. I hope they just do that with the Greyjoy guy. Like, marry me, Danny. No.
Well,
One episode.
here's what you're gonna hate, which I'm pointing at you that you hate that.
Yeah.
That Euron is like, he's probably gonna be like the next Ramsay.
I know.
Because
We don't need another Ramsay.
They released the sample chat. Euron, the Greyjoy, the guy who just was
the Greyjoy uncle that showed up.
who just got elected.
Shoved the dude off the bridge.
Yeah,
I see.
And then he's like, Crow's Eye!
yeah, Crow's Eye. In the George R. Martin just released a sample chapter where he has the damp hair, the priest guy, right?
The drowned one.
The drowned one. He's an idiot, but he's in the hold and he's doing like torturous stuff and he's got magic and supposedly he's got this horn that he found, like the secret horn in Valeria that can like destroy the wall. So he's probably gonna be like a big part. Yeah, he's.
Why would you want to destroy that wall?
Because he's
a psycho.
He's a psycho. He's like one of those
Man.
guys. His plan is like he thinks he's gonna like rule the world kind of thing.
He is sailing the wrong direction though. The wall is like the other direction.
Well, he's not sailing anywhere. It's Victorian in the books. He's
yeah,
still,
but there is no Victorian in the book.
yeah. Well, in the
In
show,
the show.
though.
Victorian in the books.
No, he meant it.
I meant the
in
show.
Oh, Jesus.
In
You
the
gotta keep up with the falling behind.
right in the books, what Yara and
You're
Theon
fine,
are
you're
doing,
fine.
that's what Victorian's doing.
Gotcha. Okay, making 1,000 boats and
Right.
going
Yeah.
to present the salty cake.
Yep, because that's the plan. They want to get. They all want Dany, right? Because Dany's like got the
They
dragons.
all want that salty dick to go somewhere.
So yeah. But unfortunately for you, he's gonna be like the Greyjoy agenda is probably gonna be really important.
It's really annoying because like it's like I've always felt like the Greyjoy is just like who cares what the Greyjoy is, and they can tell that they're stirring up that somehow the Greyjoy is going to have some type of real involvement. It's like,
yeah,
they have to.
We
'cause-
just showed
No.
all of Danny's ships get burned, and now the Greyjoys are the ship guys.
right.
But the other Greyjoys, Theon and what's the girl's name?
Yara.
Girl
Asha.
Greyjoy.
her name's Asha's in the books, but
Fuck the books.
yeah, but that's always
Yeah, but like
fucking
she's
hate
actually
the
taking
book.
ships to Dany, and so like she could just be like, hey, but they're not gonna be there. No, it's cool. For some reason, they all want to run Westeros. No one wants to just live happy and fucking die fat.
How about just like stay where you're at?
that's like that's a thing. Here's what's funny.
Fucked up.
Here's what's funny to me about the books and the show is you have Westeros and Essos, right? And Essos is way bigger. Essos is basically like the Asia of that world, right? So it's like it's huge, and they're just doing their own thing. Westeros has no jurisdiction on Essos, like whatsoever. So like, why do they care about Westeros?
It's
So
like the
much?
same thing with like America.
Right, but it's like I don't know.
America seems to be the focal point.
Essos seems like super deserty though, like everywhere does. It's like why would I? It's like going like, does anybody? I mean, I know they do it infighting wise, but like, does anybody ever like go and try to take over Africa? Not really. You know, like, cause it's like all hot. Like, what's there? What do we want? That's in.
You
I
make a
mean,
good point.
like it sounds shitty, but like, Really, like, why do we want to go take something that has like really hot weather and like?
You're right. I guess
And
SS
shitty.
does look shitty. You're right.
Like,
it's like
it's
the
just like-
Dothraki Sea. It's like who wants that?
Who wants to fucking deal with that?
Well, they actually just
You
take
got a point.
they
Let's
take
try
resources from Africa. A lot of companies do own parts of it or deal with the people and
It's
take
third
the
world.
resources.
Oh, I
out.
know,
It's
and I
not-
know what I said was probably very
Ignorant.
ignorant.
It was very ignorant.
But,
It was both of them.
but like, I never hear of like people. I guess they did, but
They did.
They did it
They did.
in the past. They did. I mean,
They took it over.
Africa.
I feel they just took people out of it.
Egypt isn't
No,
Africa.
it's not just.
People forget that, but Egypt was a big deal. And at one point in time, Africa was a big deal. But
I guess maybe at one point Essos was a big deal. They don't care anymore.
yeah, I mean that's a great. You just like totally like answered that question. It's like, oh, it's the same as America. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like, so it's, that answered my problem.
Well, Apocalypse is in Egypt. So.
Not anymore.
Anyways, I'm very
He
excited
could
for
be
Braun
anywhere and
tonight
anytime.
because Braun usually always has a cool scene or like a one-liner
Or a
something
cool
like
death.
I was
that.
gonna say.
I was very upset with last episode because of I thought the Faith Militant thing was gonna go a lot better than that.
I
fucking
was
did.
so mad when that
Oh,
fucking
And he
happened.
Such
he had this shitting
such a
winning grin
bummer.
on his face.
I had Super Game of Thrones on it.
It was like, yeah,
It went like
I'm not used to that with Game of Thrones right now for some reason.
It went full level Game of Thrones, where it's like, not only did we do exactly like what we don't want you to do, we also didn't even show anything that cool either. It was just like Tommen walking out. You're like, it didn't even get a sword fight. We thought we were gonna get like a fight for a second.
Yeah.
Cut somebody down. Well, it ended. What's the girl's name, please?
Which one?
The one who was supposed to do the walk.
Marjorie, yeah.
Marjorie.
Oh, Marjorie.
She looked super confused and unhappy with the situation.
Well, I don't think she thought that was.
and left me even more confused on the situation because I was like, did she get Tommen to agree so she wouldn't have to do the walk?
Yeah.
Was she
Yeah, it was her,
cool
it
with
was
that
like her plan.
No.
But like
Yeah.
now that they stopped it, is she fucked? Or
No, I
can she?
think-
Or can she? Does she think she can get Tommen out?
I
think
think
she's
she,
up to something.
She's up to something.
No, I think she was up to something, but I think she did it because she didn't think anybody was coming.
Right.
And once she was like, oh shit.
So,
little
bit.
so
Still
does
wasn't her plan.
but so does
Well, how do you
Tommen
stop your
drinking the
plan? It's
Kool-
already happened.
Does Tommen drinking the Kool-Aid ruin things even more for her? Like, where she was
I
like,
think so.
Is she gonna be like, dude, I just wanted out. Don't believe the Sparrow. Fuck that plan. Because seriously, I'm like, fuck that plan. Fuck the Sparrow. I don't
think
care.
so. I think so, but she's too.
She brought him over, so
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the only thing.
Because that's her way of getting out.
But I think that was her only option. I'm not sure she had like, oh, it was like a long plan, but she just knew this was a plan to get her out. And I think when she saw that everybody showed up, she was like, fuck.
Well, she's got a
But there's
plan.
no going back. What do you mean? She can't not get out of the plan. Like, Tommen, no, don't come out. Like,
Yeah.
like we're bailing on it.
Just grab his hand
No,
and
she's
run
got
like the
a plan.
Graduate style.
She's got a big plan.
Why do you think she has a big plan? I mean,
Because she told Loris, like, play their game, stay strong, play their game. She's got a thing. She's all of a sudden sucking up and pretending she's all on board with it.
yeah, but I'm not sure necessarily. Still thinking, I'm not necessarily sure. Like that, this was the best plan. Like,
Yeah, and who's
I don't
gonna
know
get
the best plan, but
who's gonna get
she's fucking
Loris
in a
out?
jail cell getting fucking whipped and shit or
it was
whatever.
a plan. It was definitely. It would have been the best plan if nobody showed up.
Yeah,
Because
no,
it was
totally.
a plan.
Right.
But once the other people showed up, it was like, okay, this is all of a sudden this is actually kind of a
She's
shitty
still
plan.
gotta-
Now,
She
now,
still
now
has
the
to stick
plan's
to
taking
plan.
a bad turn.
She's not gonna stick to the plan. She definitely has to stick to the plan. There's no cutting the plan, but
Poke my eye with this thing.
we need to cut Tommen. What do we do?
I saw it.
I can't see.
They need to get Tommen out of there.
Yeah, Tommen's a fucking bad. Now I kind of hate him as much as I hated Joffrey.
Nah, if you watch Joffrey,
no.
if you watch Joffrey again, you'll hate Joffrey.
No, but I mean, like, I get it, but it's like, at first I was kind of like, oh, well, Tommen's like the cool one, but now it's just like, nah.
He's an idiot.
All
he's
She's
young.
such a
He's a young idiot.
He's such a
So young.
hate kid.
And Tommen's like 8. Looks 12, but he's like 8 in the book.
Wow.
He's like 8 years old in the books.
Let's all have a moment of silence to hear Rob pissing.
That's not pissed, dude. He's got an oil leak.
Yeah, like, how many people have gone in there and peed, and I've never heard it, but for some reason when Rob's peeing right now,
It's like the loudest.
it's the fucking Niagara
It
Falls.
was like last time with Tom.
There's something going on with
Yeah,
that
I
prostate.
always heard it before.
Maybe I just never paid attention to it.
Well, I think you're just the other person. It's either Tom, Rob, or you.
So Tom pees quietly.
I know.
No, I hear
quiet.
Tom.
Oh.
No, I hear
Oh,
Tom
damn
and
it.
Charles shits.
Yeah. If you're doing the sitting down pee, it's a lot more quiet.
It's true.
Yeah, I
Still
hear-
going.
We hear all peas.
Rob like can't leave during the Game of Thrones like conversation. He's like the main.
I need him. He's my
He's the
name.
dictionary.
He's my name encyclopedia.
For me, it's like I want to discuss the episodes because fuck the books, and then it's almost like we always talk about the books.
Well, what about that Hodor episode?
Yeah, hold the
That
door.
was, before a fortnight ago. Or, I mean, after a fortnight ago, so we haven't covered
I was fine with it.
Hold the
Hodor.
door.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
heartbreaking.
I thought it was really
Hold the
cool.
door.
I didn't care for Hodor.
That was really cool. It
Oh my
sucked.
god!
It sucked for Hodor, but like I mean, at the same time, like
I don't know why. I
Was-
just couldn't grasp onto Hodor.
how great was his life that he was living when he could talk?
Not that great.
Well,
as great as anyone else's in Winterfell.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought it was
so
a-
he didn't lose anything.
I thought it was a cool twist.
so what do you think happens?
No
like,
socks
why-
on too. Socks and shoes off.
It was hot like a second ago.
It was super hot.
It was really hot. I had to get out of the sweatiness. I almost got.
Why are you wearing
wet.
pants then?
That was
You wanted to take it off?
Good point.
Leave the pants on! God damn it!
You make a lot of good points there, Aussie.
Ah!
Belts off. Oh, I have some lessons right here.
Why is it off?
Aussie said take the pants
Why? Why are you wearing it? I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. So yeah, Hodor going down. Oh, that's heartbreaking. It was a cool twist.
Are we done?
Did we get any?
Okay, are we done?
Did we get any Bran? Like, did they show any Bran in the?
I don't know. I didn't think I got teased any
Bran.
brand.
Last episode, yeah.
They showed...
In the trailer, there's gonna be Bran.
Oh, yeah, they showed the Mad King.
Oh, that was in the last episode though. But are we gonna get any Bran this
Yeah, I
episode?
don't think they showed him in the
Bran?
teaser.
Oh, I
Bran. I said Bran this time.
You're saying M.
I.
You're still
It's
saying
Brand.
It's an N because it's short
Is
for
that really
Brandon.
deep? Oh, I was
It
like,
could be Brand. 'Cause
It's Brand.
Bran.
Brandon.
I was saying Bran earlier, then I was saying Bram now, and then I go back and forth.
It's
Brown?
It's short
Well.
for Brandon. So.
Yeah.
Brand.
Oh, that makes
Brand,
sense.
it's
It's
Brand.
Brand.
Yeah. No, Brand.
This is Brandon.
So it's Dan.
I think we might get some more Brand because of Cold Hands Benji.
Cold Hands
Benji.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
But
he's
Benjen
back.
was in the last episode. That was like the only redeeming part of the last episode.
He's like half White Walker.
getting-
I
basically.
like he showed up though. It was
Benji.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool to show up.
Well, it's one of those things because I had like given up on Ben. I thought he was just never gonna show back up.
Not to fuck up the podcast or anything, but when he showed up and the way they edited the fight to make it look cool and like so like he hooks that one White Walker, then it cuts to him throwing
Yeah.
an obvious skeleton dummy. It kind of made me think of the Cap 3 fight and how I kind of saw Rossi's complaint is I want to see the hit. And a lot of times when it's person on person in both Cap 3 and Cap 2, they don't show the hit. It's actually physically not there. They cut when you're seeing an angle, then they cut to another angle where he's receiving the blow. And
Why are you doing this stuff?
It's been a good day for me.
it was actually
Why are you doing this stuff?
and when I watched it, I was like,
He didn't like the speed. He
it
didn't like the
didn't,
cuts.
it didn't ruin anything for me. But for some reason, that Benjen show up opened my eyes to the Cap 3 fight of what Rossi was saying, and I was just like, hey, they don't show the hit. Rossi's bitching. Oh! They don't show the hit.
A good day.
Is what's Rossi's complaint. It's like I see the hit in what I count as, but Rossi wants,
I want the impact.
the
baby.
impact.
I want the impact, baby.
and that's
You're saying
why
you don't-
he doesn't see the hit, but I see the hit because we both
But you're saying
want
you don't
different
get that.
hits.
On different
But
hits.
when do you not get the hit in Cap 3? You always get the hit.
There's a couple times where so especially in the Scarlet Witch part, or not Scarlet Witch,
Black Widow.
Black Widow part,
It's actually
where
not even
she's
Scarlett
punching, when she's punching Crossbones, you see her throw the punch from her side, you see her land it from Crossbone's side. You don't see her land it. You see his head snap and her follow through. This is the only they do that a lot for her fights. They do it some of Cap's fights. Whenever it's person on person, it's actually now that my fucking eyes have been open to it, I see that fucking cut almost every time person on person fight. If it's a CGI thing, they stick with one camera throughout to knock that person out. And it's kinda- and so it didn't ruin anything for me, but I saw what Rossi wanted,
I still don't
and
see it.
I see why he didn't like it. It was funny.
Yeah.
That's a good job, Benjen.
Thank you, Benjen.
That just ruining everything.
I thought it was great that Benjen returned, though. That was cool. I thought he was a lost cause.
I'm
So
glad.
I liked he returned. Do you think we're gonna get the trial by combat this episode?
Yes.
I really
This
hope so.
episode?
Oh,
No.
I really hope
Probably
it's this
episode 8 or 9.
episode because the
What
episode's
episode?
moving.
What episode are we on?
We're on 7.
7.
It was
only
7 of what?
10.
It's usually episode 9.
That trial combat's gotta happen.
Getting close.
It's usually
Because there's
episode
other
9
stuff
of
that's
Thrones.
gotta happen.
Episode 9 is probably going to be the Battle of Winterfell with like Ramsay versus.
Yeah, so
Arya.
we might get trial. We might get
We
trial.
might get the trial in
At least
7.
next time we probably get the trial.
Yeah, I would say 7 or 8. I mean, I don't think
Watch they save it for 10.
if they save it for 10,
They
that's
don't
kind
usually save much for 10, I feel.
Yeah, 10's usually like 9's always like the big one, and then 10's always like the next season.
Set up for next season.
Yeah, that's why it could be the thing. Could be another.
I hope that I want to see it.
I don't think last season they stuck to that as much though, right? Wasn't it last season like 9 was only okay, but 10 was actually pretty good?
Wasn't last season.
Was 10 the one with when Jorah like and the fucking the harpy people like attacked and the dragon came down?
Yeah, that was 10.
I think that was 10.
Wasn't 9 though? Was 9 the whole White Walker thing?
Yeah.
What oh, was that 9?
Where they
that's
like
pretty
were
fucking epic.
yeah.
All stand up.
No, where like they were escaping.
Where there's that
Yeah,
gate that they close and then they
Yeah.
break through it. And
Was that 9?
They have to escape.
And then he
in
got
the water.
stabbed in
That's what I'm
10?
saying. Yeah, they all stand up.
Yeah.
The zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. When was the battle of the Wall? Was that
I
even
didn't think that was 9. I thought it was like 8.
Oh, it was 8. You're right. I think it was 8.
the one where they defend the wall?
There was a whole. I think
A whole episode where they were
I think
just
it was season 4.
Was that the wrong? Was it a different season?
Yeah.
Season 4, episode 9 was like just the wildlings versus the.
Yeah, because there's been no.
It's like one of the few
Fire
episodes where they
Wall.
don't ever show anything else.
Yeah,
but
it was-
the-
I think so. Wasn't 8 episode 8 the all just at Hard Home,
Hard home.
or was it?
Oh, you're right because I think that. Yeah, it was because the Oberyn thing was that same season. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oberyn was like. It was 7 or 8 or.
Was episode 10 the Walk of Shame? Or was that 9?
I think that was 10.
Might have been 10. Yeah.
Something happened in 9. Maybe it was
I want to say that was the very.
Sheree getting burned.
Oh yeah, because 10 was the Stannis, the one they fought. Winterfell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
she
I
probably
think
did.
9, like the big thing.
She
was
probably
like
did get burned in 9.
They barely showed the Stannis. I still want a body.
I still need a Stannis head.
I need
Yeah.
Stannis' death. Even though Brienne said she killed him, that's not good enough.
Oh, but it's good enough for Serial Pharrell.
No, it's not good enough for Cedar Farrell. I think he's still out there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't want to high five it.
I don't want to high five you.
Hold on.
He's a faceless guy.
You're faceless.
Who's Serial?
He's the
The wooden
Fencer.
sword. Wooden sword.
I'm
wooden
all
sword
out.
guy.
No, I
I'm
know.
Bravos.
I know.
Bravos
I just had
can
to
go
double
fuck
check.
itself.
Oh, I know you knew, and I know I may not have known, but I did know.
Yeah, you did, so that's good.
I'm all out on.
You're never getting another high five.
What?
I'm all out on Bravos.
You are. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm out on
I'm
Bravos.
out on you. I'm out on
I,
Bravo.
here's the thing. I can understand being out on Bravos, but if Sirio shows up, it'd be
Bravos
cool
back.
to be Sirio Arya again because I like that and I like Arya.
What if
She went to Bravos, found out.
What if Sirio's
found out
Jock
it's
him?
not as great as she thought it was.
What if Cyril? What if he shows back up
That
and he's got a wooden sword?
Be
Would you still be in?
if he's still rocking the wooden
If
sword.
he's rocking the wooden sword, I'm
That'd be-
out.
what if he was the faceless guy?
That's
He's
what everybody
the wooden
thinks.
sword.
A lot of people think he's the face.
No, a lot of people
First
think he's the
sword of
faceless guy,
Bravos.
and that will be nuts. If he's still rocking the wooden sword, that would suck.
I doubt he's gonna be walking around. That was just for training, and they got ambushed.
I get that, and that's why it would suck
That'd be
if
stupid,
he's still
right?
rocking it.
Shows everybody that wooden sword.
Sirio could still be out there. Though.
I think
think
he's.
he
I
is.
think he's dead.
I don't think so. He's too.
I love
And
when,
I don't think he's
when
the
you
faceless
guys make
guy.
the
Why
fight
would the
for it,
faceless-
It's good. I really enjoy
Why
it.
would the faceless guy be the first sword of Bravos?
Exactly.
Yeah, because he can change who he
But
is.
why would he do that? Why would
Like,
that? Why would
that,
be-
would make would like all the Bravos be faceless people,
only reason I
and
don't
like the
think he-
dancing stuff is bullshit, just something they put out there
This
for the
first
other
season,
people.
he's so
I don't think he
bad.
is because he just gave the okay to the other chick to go kill Arya. I don't think that was something Serial would do.
He said, "Don't let her suffer."
He's so dead. That was
If you
first
never
season.
see a body, you can't say for sure that he's dead. They could always bring him back, especially in the show where like you didn't see anything. You just saw him with Marin Trant
Marin Trant.
and just a bunch of idiots.
He
And,
beat
like,
the shit out of those idiots.
Yeah, but he had a fucking wooden sword that was broken. For some
He
reason,
could have
he can't
escaped.
pick up another sword.
he could have escaped. I don't think he beat him, but he could have escaped. I'm just saying, like,
He could have beat him. He
He's
could have danced
probably dead.
around, then finally picked up a sword, stabbed him.
he's probably dead, but
Could be
you
out there.
can't say unless you see unless we saw Marin Trant like gut him.
Why wouldn't we have seen him gut him? We've
Have
seen
we seen
everyone
Marin
get
Why
Trant?
gutted.
didn't we see
After?
Stannis get killed? That's what pisses me off because he's way more important.
Have we seen Marin Trant after?
Yeah.
Aaron
He's
Trent got
dead.
killed.
He's dead.
Arya killed him.
Right.
Arya.
Canaria.
So here's the thing.
She fucked him up.
If we see Trent, then we have to assume Syrio died.
No, he could have just escaped.
Yeah, you could have just gotten away.
He could have just gotten away.
He's dead.
I mean, he
Who
could
the
have
fuck
been
gets away? In any of their
Blackfish?
fights.
a Bravos
In any
guy.
of their
Yeah,
fights.
they show Blackfish get away though.
In
They don't show you
fights.
away.
But they
None of
never
the fights
implied
end
I'm just
with
saying,
someone not dying.
they didn't show it though.
I get it.
So you can't, like, the same thing with the Hound. If the Hound does come back, it's like, oh, Hound died. No, he didn't if you didn't see him die. If you don't see them die, they're not dead. And then in Game of Thrones, even if they die, there's red women.
Except for Stannis.
By the way, we need to get the first Red Woman. She needs another scene with those things out and prominent.
The new Red Woman?
The first Red Woman being the second Red Woman.
Yeah, well, she's called like the first Red
No,
Woman.
I get it. She's the first. She's like the first witness of the Lord of the Light.
Yeah.
That was such a heartbreaker.
Was it your heart?
It was my heart. It was broken.
Is that what broke?
My robot heart.
Wait, why?
Because, like,
She was secretly an old woman.
Melisandre, like, was my chick. She was my gal that I was, like, into in Game of Thrones, and she's like an old, like, troll golem.
She's actually a golem.
She's actually Gollum.
Keep that necklace on.
No. That'd be like if I put like on a mask or something. It's like, keep the mask on. Like, it's actually me though. Like.
Well, on that fabulous note, I think
That's where we're ending.
I think it's time.
See you in a fortnight.
See you in a fortnight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Time.
We'll see.
There's really no other movies to talk about after this, so I guess we're watching.
Well, I guess
movies.
Camp 3. That's
I'll be
another
back
one.
with Turtles. I'll let you know.
He'll be back.
Well, we're gonna be back with Twin Peaks. We're gonna be back with Wayward Pines.
We'll be back with Tron.
Tron.
Yeah.
We're opening with Tron.
Game of Thrones.
We're gonna have Game of Thrones. We're gonna have Twin Peaks. We're gonna have
Wayward Pines.
Wayward
maybe.
Pines. We
This
got a
podcast
lot.
ain't
Maybe a
going
trailer or
nowhere.
something.
Maybe Predator
Maybe it'll
2.
go to iTunes and become
Maybe.
a podcast in that time.
Yeah.
But all I know
Diego
is-
supposed to figure that out. Oh yeah, we could get Julian to watch if we got enough
Time.
Will
Uh,
tell.